All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Cadillac on Mars. Today, it's just me and T and the whip. So we got T riding shotgun today. Our man Delvin, he's still good. He's just out here. If you know Delvin, or if you know, he's always dealing with life. And so right now, life is going through some seriousness with him. He's in good health. Let's just say that. I want to say he's in good health and nothing to worry about him, but just, give the man some love. He definitely deserves it. So, we just we got to give him some time right now. But other than that, sometimes it's just good. It feels nice when your friends check. They say, "Hey, man, I need a minute. I got some stuff going on," and you can just be there for them to say, like, "I got you. Don't worry about it." So it's a good thing. But we'll jump into today's show, as we do our little monthly action. We catch up with all our bits and our nonsense and whatnot. And let me tell you, between the last episode and this fucking episode, woo, there has been a lot going on. just a ton of different shit. Just like, man, it's been good. Like, I've been having a good time. But as I've shared over the years, like man, fucking this time of the year, it's a lot. There's a lot to work with. There's a lot to deal with, and it just becomes kind of crazy. But let's jump in with you, T, because the first note in this is wild. Have you ever hit a deer? The fuck are you talking about? No.
My guy, last Tuesday, I'm coming back home 7:30 in the morning after dropping my kid off at school. On a dude, I live in an inner ring suburb of the city of Cleveland. That means I am one city away from the city of Cleveland. I'm just, what I'm saying, and we are not a deer dwelling situation. You know what I'm saying? but I'm riding home on that street doing about 35, and out of nowhere, a whole clique of deer just run across the street in front of me. Damn, like a little small herd of them shits.
Yeah,
I caught one of them motherfuckers, man. Clip that bitch.
No way.
Fucking the front driver's side of my car is tragic right now. No, it's not so horrific that I'm like, fuck. But yeah, man, I it's like I'm doing it with my hands. So if you see the video, like, my car is going forward. The deer leaps out this way. So I clip the deer, and then his whole body swings swings and then fucks my driver's side fender all up. So cracks my bumper, fucks my little light situation up front. My radar pinging weird now because it's a Honda and it's got a radar built into it. Just fucked it. And so I immediately called my lady. I'm like, Vanessa, I'm like, yeah, man, I hit a deer. I'm just coming home. I'm riding. The car ain't doing nothing out of normal. And I hit my insurance company up, and they're like, all right, well, and everything's literally almost everything was through the insurance company's app, which is so strange because at that point I kind of really wanted to talk to somebody, but everything was through the app at first, and then I talked to somebody, and they was like, all right, yeah, you good? That's a no fault. Your rates won't go up, and keep motherfucking moving, man. You can go put it in this shop, and we'll set the appointment up. Oh, it's this day, and yeah, you got the rental. Holla. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
I will have to pay my little $500 deductible, which fucking blows.
Yeah.
But car's in the shop. Car went in the shop today. Vanessa drove the car all the way to New York and back this weekend. Her friend's kid was having their third birthday, so it's not like my car. The Civic is undrivable. It had damage. It has damage.
Now remind me, this is Megatron.
No, Megatron.
Megatron passed. R.I.P. Right?
Yeah. Megatron unfortunately got totaled out Thanksgiving a couple of years back. This is the sequel to Megatron, which I never named because I was so distraught about losing Megatron.
Okay,
I never named this car.
Okay,
so it's just the Civic.
It's the Civic.
Yeah. But then you sent me that video about Honda, right? Yeah, that video about Honda. You sent me. I was like, respect output, which turns out the first car the Honda as a company made was a Civic, and I think that's so dope.
Yeah. T sent this TikTok the other day, and I might have to post it in our notes. So someone's just got to remind me to post it in the notes. But it's like, I love when like I've seen them on YouTube, I've seen them on TikTok when someone tells like a history of something, but in a very like common terms. You know,
Yes.
it's almost like when you tell your friends a story, it's not like fucking literature and lecture. It's like, man, fucking check this shit out, right? Okay, so when he's telling the story of Honda, I was like, this is the most I've ever learned about Honda, but I'm fucking like into it.
I'm in, and now I kind of want to study more about this, like this dude Honda.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Who it was in a country that had a car company already, Toyota,
yeah,
and Nissan for that matter. And
because he was talking about it like, you know, my man's Honda, right? Okay,
like bet.
yes. I was like, okay, I didn't know Honda was from Atlanta. Okay, all right.
The Atlanta
Now,
of Japan.
great, seriously. But no, that video was like super fascinating. I was, like I said, I was way into it. I really liked that.
Thanks for hitting me up with that. I was like, yeah, this is dope, man.
Yeah.
Did Chaufie know I drive a Honda? But you know,
I fucking loved it. Now, okay, so but I kind of want to go through this because like deer are dense. So like, did it
Bruh.
like did it throw you? Like, were you just like, what the fuck? Or were you already seeing them come through? Like you said, there were multiples.
It was quite literally out of fucking nowhere. And it was lightweight, just enough sunny, and I was driving east, so the sun is a little bit in my vision. And then I was just like out of nowhere. So I hit the brakes. I definitely, you know what I'm saying? That's what saved it, probably saved my car, and definitely, I don't know if it said that. This deer thick as fuck, bro. Like you said, that's a whole lot of animal.
Yeah.
And so it was me hitting my brakes, probably in the nick of time. And like I said, it was like deer fur all in my door jamb until recently. Because I had read somewhere on Reddit, there's like, yo, just leave that shit there just in case the motherfuckers at the shop when I try to climb you and say that shit didn't happen that way. But the insurance company, I was like, nah, man, clean that off. And I still was like, oh, so I left it there. But and Vanessa's driving too.
Well, you nasty.
Well, no, I asked. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with asking. You know what I'm saying I have to make sure.
True.
So yeah,
yeah, because you don't want to get caught up with some nonsense where they're like, yeah, right, like you did this and that. And it's like, nah, man.
But what it is they make so like they make you take multiple pictures. I had to rack up these pictures. Probably like, let's take a look at how many pictures they forced my hand on. Scroll. Give me a second. All right. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 pictures of the car and a 45-second video walking around the car saying what happened. So they get a lot. They asked for a great deal of information. And then, like I said, then it was just like, it was all chill vibes. They was like, okay, this was up. And I've had to call them back a couple of times because, like I said, Vanessa was kind of worried, like, should I be driving this car? And I'm like, look, it's drivable and insurance is, I'm saying, I'm of the opinion that if it's drivable, it's drivable. What did insurance say? And I go, bro, I'm just telling you it's drivable. They're going to say the same thing. And then they said the same thing. But she felt relieved with that. Which is whole shit when you think about it. Like, I just told you that and and whatever, but this dude tell you that shit who you don't know. And that's what makes it great.
Then you take you're like, no, we're just bond. We're good.
Yeah. But like I said, and so I've ended up having to call him back twice off that. And he's like, look, man, don't worry about it. If you got, because like when I first talked to him, he's just kind of cold. And I know that's weird, but to give a fuck about. But I don't know. I'm kind of a jovial kind of people person. I would hope somebody would talking to you about you hit a deer will come through with a little more, grace or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But now my man was just like, it's my job and this is what I do. But then like
he's
I said,
like, listen, I'm a literal motherfucker, man. So if you came here for jokey jokes, you got the wrong one.
It's not that I need jokes, but just vibes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then, like I said, I've had to call him back a couple of times. And he's like, look, don't you worry. Look, I'd rather you call me back than and let's talk it through if you need to, you know what I'm saying, than not, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yo, okay. That's what I needed that first time, my guy. Yeah. You ain't had that going this is first time, you know what I'm saying? I needed some support, you know what I'm saying? Because
I needed to ease my nerves. You weren't there for me.
Yeah. So to make sure other people are aware, I wrote, we have multiple council members and we have an at-large member. And I've met and spoke with the at-large member before. And so I hit her up. And it turns out at this point she is the president of the city council. I didn't realize that. So she's risen up the rank since last we spoke. So I wrote an email. and refer to her as Madam President, and
Yeah.
so forth
You're
and so
like,
on.
congratulations.
Which I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, got me some points. And so she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry that you hit a deer and all, everything's okay. I'm gonna put you in touch with a couple of other people." I'm saying so then the next day I get an email from the chief of police saying, "Oh no, man, it's because you know what I'm saying they do these deer cullings in the parks around here. They probably just kind of hiding out, trying to not get got."
Right.
And I'm like, sure. And then somebody else from the city hits me up a couple of days after that, and I'm like, and so I finally after all that I write them back. I go, look, my insurance covered it. It's no fault, so my rates don't go up. I just want people in the town to be aware that they're out here running around.
It's time.
Because we don't normally have this happening. We don't have deer crossing signs in my city. There are deer crossing signs in other parts of this area of that I live in,
but this is not commonplace.
Yeah, we don't got no woods in our city, man. It's houses.
Yeah,
ain't no woods over here.
Where the fuck you come from?
That is it's beyond me. So
well, that's like when I went to Atlanta and went to the homie Sean's house, and he doesn't have. Hold on, I'm gonna shut this door because these dogs won't shut the fuck up. I mean, I already know I live in the city, but people go, when you hear this many dogs barking, you think I live in the hood. I live in the suburbs. I'll be right back. Fucking pugs and this German Shepherd back here, stupid ass bitches. It's because they're all female dogs, I know.
Whoa. Hey.
Get in the house. Stop it. Bitches be tripping.
Like, look out, man. You can't be embarrassing me in these streets.
I'm like, fuck, man. Hoes wilding. Yeah, but that's just crazy though. I mean, especially when it's not commonplace, then you don't expect it. That would be like me fucking hitting a deer over here where I'm like, oh, why are you here?
Like, where did you come from? The ocean is that way. And right. There's no woods around here.
You're like, between me and the closest woods is a fucking body of water. What are you talking about?
Right. I'm saying, like I said, like, and that's kind of what it is in my neck of the woods, because north is the lake. Is in Lake Erie, one of the Great Lakes. And I guess if you go a town over, it could be but ain't really no woods over there either to really think about. I'm like, where the fuck is these deer kicking it at?
Dang, they just rogue. Well, it's probably some military bots, because birds are robots too. They're not real.
Oh my God! Oddly enough, my direct report at work lives in the city too, and she's like, I heard they be kind of making their way up and down the railroad tracks. And I go, I guess, but that seems dangerous as fuck to them too. He's like, don't you get got by a train, you got.
Yeah,
I would think deer would avoid that like the damn plague.
But I guess if they see a clear pathway, they're just like, I mean, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I guess like that way toward the end of the town, it is, I guess, a slight bit of wooded area, but again, there's railroad tracks that way too. It's like the city's train runs that way down there. So yeah, I don't know, can't call it. But like, again, where I was at, nah, they shouldn't have been there. That's all residential.
Weird.
That is.
What else besides hitting deers with your whip? What else is going on?
It's really all right, man. Ain't nothing popping, man. Right. It's life. I'm supposed to definitely clown your wife. So let me do that right quick, because
okay, yes, that's right.
Chaufie's wife posted this on her IG, so it's not like I'm just clowning her. My man was like, "Yo, you at the gym?" And then the way this wraps up, Chaufie's wife like, "Don't be acting like you know me at the gym." And I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I had to clown her off that. I was like, "Yo, you was wild."
Dang, for real. I know, huh? She dogged me out for everyone to see on IG.
And then what did she post? She posted something earlier today, and I was like, what the fuck is going on today? I had to ask her. I was like, what is happening? She posted, okay, here it is. She posted this shit. If you ugly, don't post no picture today, because I'm not in the fucking mood. And so I just was like, damn, Jadakiss, what is going on?
Hold on, you're gonna have to explain Jadakiss to her too, because what I told her yesterday was I was listening to the new JUS album, which if you love like that old school hip hop boom bap sound, that album is fucking really good. But so I was playing it, and she was like, I don't like this, and I was like, dang, you don't love real hip hop, and she was like, I don't. So I'm gonna need you to explain the reference.
Oddly enough, it's because Chaufie's wife is Jessica. I'm saying, I don't know if we put that out there. You said it before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm like, I don't be putting your wife's name out here and motherfuckers gonna be tripping. And I'm always just taking people's initials and making them bitches far much bigger than they have to be. So Jay became Jada Kiss, which is my man Jada from the Locks, if you know, you know. And that's just what her nickname became yesterday for me or today for me. So her name is Jada. Jada Kiss in this case, you know what I'm saying? She also explained that apparently she's just hitting the gym hard currently right now, and it was like
she does.
I'm just hangry, you know.
She takes her gym life very, very serious.
It was, bruh, when she said, "Don't act like you don't know me."
Yeah,
I was like, hold on, you can't be clowning my whole play like this.
Did you listen to it with the sound on?
No, I didn't. What did it say?
So disrespectful. The music was, bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Oh, damn.
Right? Wow. Fuck, man. Really came at me like that. I was like, wow. Okay. You know what? All right. I'm going to stay back here.
Did you go to the gym?
I did.
That's what's up. That's all that matters.
And I checked in for a second just to be cool and be like, she was like, why are you talking to me? I said, okay, I'll be back on this elliptical. Watching my F1 races.
Me, I would have walked up, smacked her ass, and kept walking, and just waited for the rest of the gym to react.
Yeah,
just for that, not her, because whatever.
Just be flagrant with it.
If you don't know my smack, then what is love? You know what I'm saying? He just put a
baby, don't hurt me.
Press that cheek and just keep walking, and had the rest of the gym like looking like, oh, did that happen? Does he know you?
No, man, that's what this fool did. I was like, wow, okay. First disrespectful text, and then she tried to delete it like I didn't see it on my home screen.
That is what she said you would say, and I had to just laugh. I was like,
yeah. And then when I heard the music too, I was like, we ain't cool.
Like this beef cool. Now. I see you in these screens, little homie.
All right. Okay, Kendrick.
Oh my God.
I'm about to get AI on you.
Again, I do not know this woman. That is my man's wife. But just like with like anybody, like I said, my man, I truly don't know Anthony's lady like that, but I know her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just like I'm always trying to be, because that's my people. If they your people, they my people. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that is. So I love that you and your wife have a relationship that functions like it does, because it's very much y'all just have oftentimes, at least what is presented on the Instagrams, a fun little vibe that may not always be a fun little vibe, because that's what relationships are, but when they are, it's like, hell yeah, that's dope. my man's having a good time, and he went to the gym.
Yeah. No, I guess I'll slide into my shit. So yeah, just as I say this, like annually, like May is fucking insane, or the last month of the school year, because it's like closing down the year, starting up the year, and I got fucking like, I'm hiring teachers, I'm letting go of teachers, I'm doing evaluations, like it's all the reports are due like literally on the same date, so it's fucking crazy, and then just like mental health wise, I'm like, I need to not like just sleep and actually like get out and get active. So I've been trying it, like I think for the last, like, honestly, I think it's been like 3 weeks now. At least I've gone like about 3 times a week. So I've been trying to get out there. And then, fitting all the other shit in as well. So, whereas my wife is like definitely like she gets up early, she goes in the morning. Like I prefer to go in the evening, and then that's my like come down.
Yeah.
So just trying to find a different way to like de-stress instead of just like fucking plowing down a whole giant ass bag of wine gums. I'm like, all right, I gotta try some different things, So just trying to flip it. But man, let me tell you all the fucking shit we've done. Okay, so for spring break, we went to Washington, D.C. And not that I was like against going to Washington, D.C., because I wasn't like at all. It was just like, okay, we're going to see the monuments, and then I don't know what the fuck we're going to do the rest of the day. Like I thought it was just going to be, But then Like it was really fucking cool. One, like real where my wife picked the perfect location. We were just like around the corner from like the Black Lives Matter like boulevard or street.
Yeah.
And when I say just around the corner, I mean like literally steps. And then that puts us steps from the White House. So it was like we were in the area. What is that? The National Mall? Is that
Yes.
what it is?
Yeah, exactly
So
what
we
it's
were
called.
like right there. So everything from us was like a half mile here, a half
Yeah.
mile there. So we were like in the right location. The only one we didn't see was like the Jefferson Monument because it's kind of off and over.
Yeah,
And
Monticello's
so
like across the water, ain't it?
yeah. It's like in a weird pocket. So it's like
Yeah.
we saw all the other stuff, and it was kind of like, okay, this is gonna sound, I don't know if I ever shared this before, but like one of my all-time favorite movies, and think of it more as a comfort food, not as a like uh all-time like fucking best movie anyone's ever seen. Forrest Gump. I will
Word
watch
up.
the fuck out of Forrest Gump.
We was just talking
And
about Gump recently because Bubba was on Fallout.
oh shit. Oh yeah, we'll talk about Fallout too. But so it was like I'm going through this fucking National Mall through the lens of Forrest Gump, where I'm like, oh, this really did his speech. Fucking Jenny's in the water over here, and like, and just seeing how like close things are. It was really fucking cool, So just everything is super super close, super super tight. One thing that I was extremely impressed with was the hospitality. Like I'm used to being out here in LA, and you don't talk to people in LA. You don't ask for help out here. You ask for help, people are gonna look at you like, why the fuck are you talking to me? Like we're very like isolated, cynical crowd. Like it's just hospitality is not a thing, and because everyone wants to be fucking cool, you know. So and John 32, if you want tips on moving out here, like if you're coming out for a vacation, I'll definitely point you in some right directions. But it's just it's very standoffish. Um, and I know I'm overgeneralizing, but just be prepared for that. Whereas like going to DC, um, like another thing, I asked a police officer for help.
Yeah.
As a brown person, yeah, I don't do that. Like I tried to limit my interaction. So I went up to one of the police officers. I can't remember what I asked him, but I was just like, hey, how do I get to wherever? And he was like, oh, hey, yeah, no problem. Let me tell you, you walk over here about, 10 steps. You're going to turn, you're going to talk, you're going to do like fucking really detailed it. And I was like, wow. Or like learning their subway metro system. That shit is beautiful. And the fact that they actually have people working there, like when we went to go buy our little tickets, our little travel cards, there was a lady whose job it is to explain it to you, where she's like, where do you want to go? And here's how you buy your card, and here's how you recharge your card, and here's mistakes people make when they recharge their card. Like really, they hold your hand. But even going into like restaurants and stores, everyone was just where like my wife and I went to go have drinks at this place called Allegory.
Mhm.
And it was this story, which was really interesting place. It's kind of like a speakeasy in a hotel called Eaton.
Okay.
And it was the story of, I know I'm going to fuck up her name, Ruby Bridgers.
Okay.
And Alice in Wonderland mixed. And so each chapter in their little menu book was a cocktail, and then the chapter was the smash of the two stories. And but so I was talking to the host outside, and he was real cool. And his name was Cheaty, which I was like, oh shit, like the good place? Man, he fucking with me. But so I was like, hey, have you always lived out here? And he's like, yeah, all my life. And I was like, okay, why is everyone so fucking nice? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, this is just like how we are. I go, listen, I talk to the cops, I'm talking to you, I talk to this person, talk to that person. He goes, I don't know. It's just kind of how we are. I go, you gotta understand, I'm from LA. And he goes, I've been there. I was like, okay. I was like, so you understand? Like, he's like, yeah, it's just different. He's like, out here, it was just kind of like, we're just glad to be outside. Like, we're just glad to interact with people. He's like, the fact that you came to our city, like, fucking great. And I was like, this is so crazy. But so just that experience was like, it was so positive. Like, it was such a good time. So, that, and then, so like just for hospitality wise, that made it a pleasant trip, but like the density of it too, where it was just like, and like I said, everything was super close by. I was so stoked because I got to see Ford's Theater. So I was like, damn, that's where they clapped old Abe. So saw that as well.
Dope little like diner right there.
Yeah. Because we went to like it was called I think it's called like Silver Lion, which was like my wife and I love to go to like the speakeasy type of places.
Yeah.
And this one had like amazing cocktails there too, where one of them was like, it's going to sound pretentious, but we're going through their menu and it's very like highly curated. And she was like, this lady goes, or the bartender says to me, because I go, this one's weird. And she's like, yeah, it's supposed to be how humans interpret the rain. And I was like, what? She's all, it's a funky sort of martini cocktail. He's like, but it's like, she's like, it's how you would process the rain. And it's like a mushroom infused this and that. It's almost like a cheese funk to it. But when you sip the cocktail and you like breathe it in and all that, I was like, yes, it is wet asphalt. It is wet. Like it is, how when it starts to rain, you get all these different like layers of scents and smells.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's not rain like here's a fucking minty candle rain. It was like, oh no, this is like if it's raining outside. Like, I fucking get it. Like, so that was really, really cool. And then if you're cool with renting like the scooters and the bikes, that's the way to fucking get around too, because they're all over the place and you can just be scooty all over the place. And so one evening, Gavin and I, we rented scooters and we just rode around everything. And it was kind of a trip because it was like, shit, I'm not gonna lie, it was maybe like 10:30 at night. Yeah. And here we are just fucking riding scooters through DC. And at one point we're like riding scooters like right in front of the White House. And I was just like, this is kind of like a surreal moment, like here we are, that's the White House. Joe Byron's inside. Byron! I figured he was home because it was like Easter weekend, so he'd be hosting. Sure. So, and it was just like a trip. But we had like a fantastic time. Like we really just enjoyed it. And then, it was enough for us to like go out, like be out all day, come home to the hotel. And then the kids wanted to chill for a bit. So then my wife and I would get out for like maybe 2 hours and then kind of just explore a little. And we did have a bit of an adventure too. We hopped in this Tesla that was taking us around the corner to this one, like, because we like to go to tiki bars. So we're going to a tiki bar.
I was literally going to ask you, how were the prices compared to home at the bars?
Comparable.
Really? Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so we, go around the corner and the guys in the Tesla driving us, and we go over a manhole, and the fucking manhole like explodes, like where I could see like sparks or like fire. And it was right in front of like a fucking like a firehouse. Yeah. And so then he pulls over because he's like, did that just explode? And I was like, yeah, that shit was crazy. So we both got out of the car and everything was all right. And then the firefighters are at us and they're like, did you see that? And we're like, you want to come? Like, it's your fucking job. Did you not? Yeah, we saw it. You see it? And they're like, yeah. Like, so this is in your wheelhouse. Like, it's
what the fuck? What is going on?
It was just weird. It was almost like if someone had put like the way I envisioned it was like, those little bang snaps, those little paper things you throw on the ground. And it was as if someone had lined the manhole with them. And so when we drove, we just ignited them. But it really did like, and you could just see like quick, like sparky flame just real fast. And I was like, that's fucking crazy. And I was like, also, like the White House is just right here. Are you not?
I was going to say that'd be wild scary to me, man.
Seriously. I was like, we're not going to investigate this? Okay. Because kind of sounds like terrorists. I don't know.
Like, I'm calling Secret Service immediately. Like, hey, man,
right? Seriously,
popping off over here. Take a look.
Yeah, man. So that was a trip. It was, but DC wild. Was mad fun. Like we had a great time. I highly recommend that trip. Like,
I've been DC like 6-7 times at this point. First time I went was when Obama first got inaugurated. I went to the, in that case, 2009 inauguration. And that one, they inaugurate the president right at the Capitol, outside at the Capitol. And so I was way back. You have an idea now. I was way back, basically kind of by the memorial, not by the monument, by the Washington Monument.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's far. That's far.
It's far, but imagine that being all just full, and they had speakers and TV set all up and down the mall.
Mm-hmm.
So then I go back and when he won again, and so 2013 because with the 2012 election, they locked the entire city down. Like so, that same mall on either side of it,
yeah,
maybe 8-10 feet tall fences. All the way down the entire mall. You had to be funneled in there, and you just wasn't allowed to kick it or nothing. It wasn't loose or nothing like that. This point, they was like, these motherfuckers, they got elected at the same time. People might be trying to come through and do some things. And they knew it. And so it was bag check everywhere and so forth. It was like it really made for a challenging time in the city that time. But me and the show we went down there, our second anniversary of the show. We went down there. It was a weird thing. We were going to our second most popular city downloads, which is someplace in Maryland because it was our second year doing the show.
Yeah,
and then it was like, man, DC is like only a little bit down the road. Let's head on out. So we went and kicked it in DC, and then drove all the way back home the same night. Don't do that.
No, fucking tired.
Yeah,
but no, like it was good. Like it was a great time. But like we were talking about, like,
that time.
The distance of things too, like. Because these monuments are like, okay, so you see the Capitol building, like if you're at the White House, you can see the dome, and it's like, oh, that's right over there, like no big deal. But then, like it's one of those, it's just so immense that it's like it fucks with your perception because then you're like, oh no, that's far. Like walking distance, or like the Washington Monument, like it's big. It's a big fucking obelisk, and so then you're like, it's right there, and then you're like, why am I still walking? Like,
yeah.
And it was.
I like just that end of the mall though. It's the monument. It's the
Lincoln Memorial,
Korean War Memorial. Across the street is the MLK statue, which is I think pretty gorgeous. The World War II memorial is kind of right there in the center, you know what I'm saying? And so that's because it's one of the newest ones they built on the mall there. And in fact, will probably be like one of the last ones they built on the mall because not a lot of space there.
Yeah.
And that I think is a lovely one. And they got all the states represented, but also got Puerto Rico represented and some of the other territories. And I think that's dope on that particular little bit of columns and shit. So I fuck with that one, man. I loved it, bro. I was like, You just picked just the wrongest time to show up. I was like, I drive my ass down to DC, come where at any other time. But
but it was like, and like a few other things to add in. So like when we are walking that first day, heading over to the Washington Monument, it was like the most like perfect experience. It was a little cold, a little windy, but it was very similar to the weather we were already having at home. But it was like a fucking kite day. So it's like, imagine just a variety of kites just flying all over the monument. So it's like, oh, people really using their space out here. And then on that note, using space, it's like that city is alive. Like it's people coming, people going, fucking mini protests and activities all over the place, but also not aggressive, very, very civil, like very like organized, very civil, where I was like, okay, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
And then very like runner friendly, which my wife, the one time she didn't pack her like exercise and running shit, and she was like, I could have been running here. Like everyone's fucking running at all hours. Like this would have been really cool to run through. So it was like, fuck man, this is kind of pretty amazing. So that trip was great. That was a really, really good trip.
What the kids think?
The kids, they liked it too, because you know what their favorite museum they went to was the Postal Museum.
Really? Over there next to the Union Station, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they had a good time there. They were like, surprisingly, they were super into it. I got like wildly emotional going to the Smithsonian, where all like the pop culture music is, because it was like, they condensed my life into like a 2-minute video. And it was just because it was like, first off, like if you ever have the opportunity to hear and be in a crowd when Kendrick Lamar is doing All Right, like when you hear everybody just going along, it's a movement. You understand why he won awards. Like, that's very, very special. So we're coming up and that song is playing and it's video clips and it's Beyonce and it's this and that. And I look to one side and it's fucking I Dream of Jeannie and it's C3PO and R2D2. It's my fucking favorite all-time artist, Prince. His fucking guitar is right there. Like, it was just like mental and emotional, like overload, because I was like, and then at the same time where I'm like, fuck, I'm in a museum now. Like, my life is exhibits where it was like all these little things. And I was like, holy shit, this is a lot to process. Like, this is because I remember like Archie Bunker's Chair. Like, yeah, man, I fucking watched that on TV. I'm old, you know, like not idea. Oh, I didn't see that on reruns. Like, I saw that. So it was overwhelming. You know, my wife was like, hey, come take a picture. And I'm like, oh, I can't right now. And it wasn't because I didn't want to. I was just like, I'm overloaded. Like, this is a lot for me. My life, like, it fucking rushed at me, you know, where I was like, oh God, you know, because then it was just like all these thoughts and memories and everything. And I was just like, I remember this. I fucking remember that. I was there. I saw, I did, I heard it. But I was like, oh God, I'm gonna have stroke out. Like, it was a lot, but it was fucking cool. Like, it was amazing.
What up, Smoking Joe? Glad to have you in the building with us.
Yeah.
But I like that y'all crossed the country, came over, got some East Coast in you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To the South, because the way DC sits, it's just situated like just basically above the Mason-Dixon line or right at it. So you're kind of like just like not in the South, but then, like you got a lot of Southern vibes, you got a lot of Southern charm, and a lot of like, you know, real mannered and well and taken care of, and I like that. I dig it, bro, all the way up, man. I love what you did.
Just a tip to the peoples. We flew into Baltimore, not into DC. And let me tell you, the tickets were literally like half price.
That is insane.
So it was just like, and even though I think our Uber came out to like $60, it was $60 versus like $2,000. Like, I'll spend $60. Like,
for sure.
You know, it was like, it ain't no thing. So, and it was really easy to get in and out of. So like, we didn't have any complaints, because just to get from the airport to our hotel was maybe 35 minutes.
Nice.
So it wasn't bad. It was like all in all.
That's a town whose highways get a little bit rapid, just busy. It's and it's a lot of like, and it's like built like circles. So basically, you get further out. It gets it's like, oh shit, it's popping out here. Like,
yeah, because we went to, what was the area we went to? I think it was like called West Adams, maybe. And one, you just see like the architecture and stuff like that, and you see that like people stay, like the history's there, you know. But so yeah, we went to this tiki place, then we went to the Insomniac Cookies, and then
because fuck crumble.
Yeah, you know, they're pretty good. But which was funny too, because then it was like, one thing I wanted to comment on, but it was also then slightly like taken back immediately. It feels like Disneyland, and if you've ever been to Disneyland, there's no trash. That city is fucking clean, like clean. And I was just like, damn, they really maintain this. So as we're talking about just like the cleanliness of the environment, I mean, it's old architecture, but it's not filthy, you know?
Yeah.
Then a big old fucking rat runs in front of us. So
city, it's still an urban environment.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but I don't really see rats out here, to be honest. And I go to some scummy areas, and rats ain't a thing. You know, they're there.
Hey, well, the business of this country and a lot of the world gets done in that town. So it's like, I'm glad they take decent care of it. Nick Jew would tell you that they tax the people there without representation in the Congress, which is literally what we went to war over. No taxation without representation.
And I believe it's on their license plates too.
It is. People who live in DC have no representation in these halls of law, and that's fucked up, and should be addressed. I'm not. I know what it is. They say if I know what it is. The concern is if you make them a state, they will have. They definitely gonna vote, you know, the other way.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't have another state with that kind of juice and that many people and so forth. But They
But so, yeah,
truly, they should be a state. Puerto Rico should be a state. It's like,
yeah.
just get the shit done, people.
But like I said, it was a great trip. And then just to add on to the adventure, so then we get back from home for a couple days, and then we go and if you've listened to like earlier episodes of Cadillac on Mars, every so often I would do like one-off like interview episodes. I wouldn't tell T and I wouldn't tell Delvin. I would just do them. And
it's okay. What would I ask Bruiser Wolf? Nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know him like that. But you, that's your boy.
That's my, and to tell you, like, that's okay. So, you know, I do fuck with those guys. And so like their main producer and DJ, Rafi, like we've been talking for a long while, you know? So we go to the Danny Brown show at the Belasco, and I've never been to the Belasco before. And that fucking venue, I fell in love with it because it doesn't make sense. It's small, like a small theater, but it's like, to get to the bathroom, you have to go down like 2 layers and through a tunnel, and then there's this other. It's got like nooks and shit. Where it was just like, this place is fucking weird, and I love like weird. Man, shut up. And but so I see Rafi, he's selling merch, and so Gavin's with me. That's my son, and so he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm gonna talk to him." So then I was like, "Hey, Rafi," he's like, "Oh, hey," and I was like, "It's me, Chaufie." And he's like, "Oh shit!" So he was selling merch. He stopped selling merch to come talk to me. We were like chopping it up for a bit, and then he's like, people are like trying to buy shirts. He's like, "Yeah, hold on." I was like, "Listen, man, I'll let you do your job. We'll swing by later. We'll talk. You know, blah blah blah." He's telling Gavin, he's like, "Oh fuck, yeah, man, I listen to your shit. Your dad shares it with me,
bro."
You know, so yeah. Man, I'm telling you, so it was cool. And then the show was like a ton of fun. Like the show was really, really well done. So then after the show, we're talking to Rafi a little more. Bruiser Wolf comes out, and we wait to be the last ones. Like we're letting people go in front of us. We're just like, go. So then, and you got to remember too, like we've only ever seen each other face to face via
video,
computer, you know? So he doesn't know I'm short as shit. Like, you know, he don't know nothing. And so then, he's like, "Hey guys, you know, thanks for waiting. Like, thanks for waiting so long." And so then I was just like, "Man, stop fucking around." I was like, "It's me. It's Chaufie." And then he like paused and he was like, "Oh shit." He's like, "That's my boy." And like, you would have thought like we were friends from way back. The way that this man hugged me, like, and a long hug too, where it wasn't like pat. You know, it was like an embrace, and he was just like, this fucking guy. This was my first interview. This is the homie since day one, and we're talking, and he's like telling Gavin, like, "Man, you don't understand." Like, he's kind of like kicking life knowledge to Gavin, just so I can do this, do that, grind, listen to your dad. You got a dad support you, and it was a little bit emotional too because he goes, "Listen, I got to tell you," because his dad passed like late last year, and he's like. Wow. This is really like emotional to me because like I just lost my dad. He's like, and you have your dad here with you, like spending time with you. He's like, my dad didn't get to see me go on tour. My dad didn't get to like be a part of these things. He's like, so to see your dad with you and you with your dad like enjoying this, he's like, it's making me teary-eyed, you know? And it was just like, it was people being real. Like he didn't hit me with a like, "Hey buddy, thanks for liking my music. Snap a picture, keep it moving," you know? Like we were talking. Like we shut that building down where even the workers were getting ready to leave, and we were still just talking. And then Rafi too, he was like, "Hey man, just wait." He's like, because I've been asking around too, like, you know, my son is getting interested in booking shows. So he's like, "How do we do this?" So then he starts talking. They both were kind of saying the same thing where they're just like, you just got to keep grinding. You got to keep trying. You just got to, you know, like it'll click when it clicks, but you just got to make relationships. You got to talk to people. You got to make the eye contact. You got to put yourself out there. You got to do the free shows, the backyard shows, the whatever. You just got to do things, and then you'll be, you know, then you'll be good. And so it was just a real cool moment because it was like getting to hang with friends, you know, just getting to spend time with like cool people. And then even at that, like Danny Brown's main DJ, Skywalker, we've been like chatting for years now, you know? So I hit him, I was like, "Hey, great show, man." And he was just like, "Dude, I wish we could have met up." But LA's real hard. Like I get what it is because everybody's here. So to make time for people is a real challenge. So he's like, man, that wish we could have chopped it up, but you know how it is. And I was like, man, no worries, no worries. But so it's just that thing of like, because my son would always say, yeah, you don't know these guys, you don't know them. And I'm like, no, I mean, technically no, but technically yes, And it's like, when you're cool with people, they're cool with you. Like I don't ask them for free tickets. I don't ask them for merch. I don't ask them to name drop. I don't ask them to do nothing,
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, fucking let's just kick it. I mean, it goes into like I mentioned JUS earlier. He's been doing right now. He's the lord of the streams, and so he goes on Kick as like a fucking wizard. It's super weird, But when he saw me hop on the stream, he was like, "Oh shit, fucking is Chaufie in here? You guys gotta fuck with Cadillac on Mars. That's a great podcast." And so I was just like, "Damn, man, thanks for the love." But it's that thing of like, just be cool with people, just like have a good time, and that kind of even goes into like last night we went to. This is where Gavin and our relationship is getting really interesting because he's putting me on to like new artists. And so he's super into this artist, Xavier So Based. And part of his clique, there's this other guy, 10K, who I really, really like. I fuck with this shit heavy. So we go to the show last night because it's Xavier So Based. It's 10K and like a bunch of other motherfuckers, And it was a really good, it's been a long time since I've been to a show like with this much energy. Like it was fucking electric from top to bottom. And so then I see 10K, and these are all young guys. Like these are fucking, I'm literally calling them kids because they're like 17, And so I see like 10K and I'm like, and I tap him on the shoulder and I was just like, hey, are you 10K? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, hey, I want to let you know, man, like you're fucking ill. Like I really love your lyrics. I love your flow. Like I think, and he's like, hey, like before you could continue, like I'm gonna tell you, I thought you were like from the cartel or something. And he's like, so I low-key was like a little bit scared. I mean, because I'm like an older fucking short Mexican guy. Like I was like, I'll give you that one.
You have cartel situations we need to be
I was like, I mean, okay, stereotyping, but also yeah. So I just told him I was like that's just funny. I was like, but no, for real. I was like these guys are all amazing. I was like, but for me, you're a standout. And he was just like, that means a lot to me. He's like, because yeah, all these guys here right now, he's like, this is easy because we're all doing similar music. And so if they like one, they like them all. He's like, but to hear from someone like you, who's a little bit older than the crowd, like, he's like, that means a lot. And then all of a sudden he just like Bruiser Wolf just fucking comes in for like the biggest hug. And he's like, thank you so much. He's like, you don't know how much this means to me. He's like, because I need to know that like people are listening to my shit. He's like, and you're being real with me. He's like, you came up to me and talked to me. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I just need to let you know, like, I fuck with your shit. I was like, Jerry Springer, that song's ill. Shopping Spree, love it. I was like, that Posse cut you have out right now, that's brand new. I've been playing that nonstop. And he was like, oh, you really listen to my music? And I was like,
you know how probably few people know his song titles? It's number 6 or whatever that shit. It's that shit with that dude. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know the names of his Johns and can tell him to his face. That's super ill, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you're an educator. But bro, you got to touch, man, with these music casts, man, to just be like,
oh, so
maybe you should be out there, my guy.
So let me give you this one because this shit was funny too. So then another guy who was on stage, the opening DJ was playing he was dialed in. Like he started with Kelly Clarkson, Since You've Been Gone, which is a hands down fucking classic. Even if you say you don't like Kelly Clarkson, that song plays, you turn it up.
Looking at you real sideways, because Kelly Clarkson is one of them few that's like, no, man, we all fucking Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
Kelly Jamaica Clarkson.
She's a national treasure. Protected.
Sure.
And but so went to that to then he was like going in by the end of the arc, it was deep hardcore like techno, but it was crap. It wasn't like hard, like he was blending well. So then this other guy who was on stage, I can't remember his name, he happened to be walking by, so I stopped him and I was like, hey, who's this? And so then he told me and I was like, oh, okay. And then he goes, wait, he's like, "Are you DJ so and so?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "No, for real. Like, we met." And I was like, "No, I promise you." He's like, "No, I swear to God." He's like, "You're DJ so and so." And I was like, "I'm not, dude." I was like, straight up, I'm not. I go, I'm just like I love fucking music. I go to shows, and I go, I'm just an elementary school principal. And he's like, "Okay." He's like, "That's fucking wild." He's like, "Cause you look just like." And I was like, "Nah." I go, "Man, I fuck around with music." I go, "It's really what I'm super into, but nah." So then another one of the guys from that clique came by too, and he started talking to me. And so then someone else who was like taking photos that night, he saw me talking to them, talking to the other one. So then he was like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Not this." He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I saw you talking to him. I saw you talking to him. I saw you talking to him." And then where I was standing in the back, they would just keep coming back and forth, and they would like dap me up or whatever, or say a little word here and there, like you like in the show type of thing. He's like, "I keep seeing them talk to you. Like, what is it?" And I was like, "I'm just some dude," like straight up. He's like, "Damn." He's like, "But you know what?" He's like, "You kind of got like a thing going on." He's like, "These guys are respecting you." And I was like, I go, "Honestly," I go, "It's like, oh, I tell my son, just be cool. Like, that's really it. I'm not trying to ride anyone's dick. I'm not trying to like, be like, oh, get me on stage. Just like, I fuck with you, you know?"
You have the energy of course, an educator,
Mm.
and of course, a dad. But then you sprinkle into some vibes with that,
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, I don't know, man. It's just
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you to your face. Well, via the internet and that I don't know, man. It seems like it's saying something to you, man. It seems like it's saying something real fucking loud to you, and I hope you don't just ignore it.
No, and that's one of those things. Like, I wish I would have grown up in this era, because it was go into music or go into, and my passion has always been like wanting to do like music production.
Yeah,
But it's like when we went to school, there was no internet,
yeah,
and it was like calling lines, and I was like, I don't know who to call. I don't have an uncle who works in the industry. I just didn't know.
yeah.
And it's like, but that's what I really wanted to do. And so if I could have been in this era, I could have been like, oh, tap in with this clique, tap in with that crew, like, but I kind of just missed that window. But it doesn't stop me from still interacting with these people and being like, and I kind of like, I do like helping my son out. So it's like a few people have said consistently, like, find the independent promoters, hit them up, and then they can start, giving you some insight. So like last night's show was hosted by this organization called Minty Boy. And I've actually been to a few Minty Boy shows, and they do really like underground stuff, but they do great stuff. And so I was like, I found their email last night, and I was like, okay, I'm going to email Minty Boy and be like, hey, got this artist. He's really interested. Here's his stuff. Maybe you can point us in the right direction, or even assist us in like getting some initial shows off the ground. And so it's like, I think I can still kind of navigate these waters in a way. But
little manager, little AR. Come on,
yeah.
man.
So it was cool. Like, I'm telling you, it was fun. And it was just like that show too really like filled my soul, because it was just like to just be in the room and experience the energy. Like, I'm telling you, these kids were fucking going off and just having a great time. Or it was just like, and I tell people, like, it's hard to move a LA crowd. Like, we just stand, so to see everyone jumping. And it's funny too, because right before the show started, 10K sent me a message, and he was just like, let me tell you, man, because I posted a picture of us, and he's like, I fuck with you heavy. He's like, right now I'm having some Instagram troubles. He's like, when I get a chance, I'll follow you back. He's like, because you're a cool motherfucker. And I was just like, that's tight, But again, it's just like, just be cool. That's really comes out. Just don't be a dick. Like, just,
Like advice. Don't be a dick. I mean, that shit has been we try to abide by, folks.
Yeah, seriously. And then, what last weekend I was streaming Coachella, so got some more concert stuff in. And let me tell you, fucking Tyler, the Creator, man, that dude he functions on a different level. Like, I don't know if you saw his stream at all, but when he did that whole campfire thing, and it's just like, his shit was crazy, like so good.
I like that he keeps coming back. Not keep coming back because of course they definitely want him and try to pay him a tidy sum to make sure he comes back to Coachella. But I like that he comes and holds it down
Mm-hmm.
and
And
puts on such a performance.
And he keeps doing different things. You know what I mean? Like it's never the same set. It's always like just have a good time, you know, and it's the production's there. Like this dude fucking exploded out of a camper like RV trailer thing. And I was just like, every time. Like when I saw him at Camp Flogna, that's when he had the fucking giant blowtorches for arms. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like, so Kid is just amazing.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, it's just that's been a big part of like the adventures going on. And then you know, I do want to give a big mention as well because something it's kind of lately there's just been a lot of people passing, not directly in my life, but people in my life, you know, in a sense. Like when we were in DC, one of my staff members, her mom's been ill for a long time, and so she passed while we were there. And we have our own separate little group text, and so she put it in there. And I told my wife because we were in the Supreme Court, and I was like, I gotta make a phone call. Like I don't want to send a text back and be like, so sorry. So I was just like, hey, I got your text. You doing okay? Let me know. I know I'm far, but you know, you need a place to decompress when we're back at work or whatever. Like, I got you, you know? And then was like the week before last, Sean had messaged me and he was like, hey, did you listen to the latest Married Games? And I was like, nah, I'm a little behind. And he was like, one of their hosts, Gabe, had passed away. And I was like, fuck, are you for real? Like, I knew he was ill. Like, he had mentioned it a while back, and they had just had their 600th episode. And it's one of those shitty things, too, where it's like, I'll go to the next one. And it's like, damn, I should have went to this. You know, like, it's always easy to put it off. But, man, just, it was nice to see the outpour of love that Gabe and his memory have received.
Yeah.
Like he really was a good guy. Like he was someone, he would text me or call me, which is also weird too, because people don't be calling. And he would just be like, you know, just wanted to check in on you, see if you're good. And it would just be not that we were already like having conversations. I might not talk to him for like 6 months. And then just I'd get a random call, a random text, just, hey man, just thinking about you, seeing if you're all right. And it was like, he did the thing that we always talk about, like, oh, I got to check in on T. I'll call him tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I call you like 6 months later, you know? And so, but he would do the thing. And so it was just like, man, to have someone with like such a good heart and like really cared for the people, you see how that love is kind of coming back. But it was just like real, like, it ain't real. You know what I mean? Like, damn, that was a real good dude. And really, really was like an inspiration to a lot of people. Their podcast birthed many podcasts, or indirectly even, but just kind of spawned a big community. And so it's just like, you know, just in memory of Gabe, just, you know, wanted to kind of recognize him and just recognize what he gave to me as a person and what he gave to the community as a person as well. Like the world lost a really good person, like really, really good person. So that was really sad. And then, you know, just for his podcast mates too, they have been doing some very raw, emotional podcasts, you know, just kind of bearing their souls. So if you're comfortable with it, I would listen to the most recent episodes. But if it's, you know, something that might be heavy on your heart, then, you know, as they've said too, if it's not your time to listen, it's not your time to listen. But like, you know, that just kind of hard. You know, it's just one less quality person in the world. It's like, fuck, that's a lot to deal with. So, you know, not to bring it in a downer, but I think we need to recognize him in a positive light, because he was a positive person who really,
for sure,
you know, truly walked it like he talked it. So respect to him, and you know, rest in peace, Gabe.
For sure, and love to his family and friends and anybody who thought highly of him. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. But so let's kind of shift gears. Let's get into some what's good to great.
My kid was like, "Hey man, we going to this art show." the other day, and I'm like, what the fuck? What are you, out of nowhere.
Like,
And
you
I'm
didn't
like,
know there was an art show?
no, did not. I truly did not. And I was like, what is going on? Like, oh, I got some pieces in it. I'm like, oh, well, shit, yeah, let's go. So my kid was in a pretty dope art show at their school. Got 4 pieces thrown up, different things. It was one was a watercolor drawing, one was like a color pencil thing, one they did a bag that they sold, so made with all kinds of different materials, and then one was like this paper mache and other things frog that was like really well done. I was like, yo, that's a really fucking. I'm
Yeah,
definitely gonna
that's
send you.
tight.
I'm definitely gonna send you the picture of a picture of that frog. I think you really gonna fuck with that
Yeah.
frog. For whatever reason, it just speaks. And I was like, yo, and then they had done some pottery and shit. That I was like, oh yeah, I'm bringing this pottery home. And I was like, you look at my little man's out here being art. I want you. I say this shit all the time on my show, and maybe I just don't say it enough. Yeah, my child transitioning has been the most. My child figuring out who they are, knowing who they are, and then transitioning it has become nothing but the greatest thing ever for this kid in his life.
Mhm.
Figuring out who he is has made him that much a better student. I'm not joking when I tell you that's a report card right here, straight A's on that bitch.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I think it was
Yeah.
last episode.
My man's is doing all this art. His teachers is like welcoming me, coming to holler at me and talk to me and shit like that. And like, yo, your kid is really doing some things out here. And I'm like, that's wild. It's not. I'm not saying he's perfect, because guess what? Definitely done got a couple of attentions this year on some other shit. Because of course,
I think you mentioned that too. You're like, listen, yeah, there were some things,
but it's like he has become I truly feel like, and this is probably for all this is for anybody that's closeted for other reasons, but I'm saying, definitely for people I'm saying who are in the midst of their transition. I feel like getting to be their genuine and authentic self has made my kid just a better person, who's a little more stable, a little more, mentally acute and so forth, and doing well. And I love it. So it's not just that, yes, my kid has art and an art show, but it's everything that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? And I fuck with it, man. I just truly, truly love that my son is growing into the person he is. And I love it, man. I love everything that comes with that. And that's why that's good and great. You know what I'm saying? It is to watch your child who has gone through so much and has had such a tough life blossom into, this really amazing person. I love it.
It's like, it's not that it has to be about you, but it's like, it's the moment when our children do things that fulfill us in a way that, like, you know what, I did all right. I did. I think you're gonna be okay. Because we spend a lot of time going like, did I fuck you up? Like, how bad did I fuck you up? You know what I mean? Like, ooh, boy, like, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, like, all those things. And we just kind of hope that, like, okay, did I do better than my parents? And then will you do better than me?
Always that.
And so but when they have these moments, it's like, okay, all right, okay. Because like, in a similar different fashion, I always talk about like how argumentative my son is.
Yeah.
He's very argumentative with us at home, and he can be in public too. Like, he's got his moments, but he takes the initiative to speak with his teachers. Like, he'll go back and be like, I don't know, I'm struggling with this chemistry test. Can you kind of come in during lunch? Can we talk about this? Like, because I've always told him it's kind of like the thing before, like, don't be a dick, like, make relationships. Because I really do believe in social capital. Like, bigger than money, what open doors for you is relationships.
Yeah.
And so that's the difference between you getting a B plus and an A minus. But when you get your report card, it's an A and a B. It don't matter what that plus or minus says. And so when you go and you talk to people and they got to make a decision on, like, he could be a good candidate, but this other one's a good candidate too. And then they say, yeah, but this one comes and talks to us and actually, like, expresses concerns and, whatever. It's like, yeah, that's the type of person we need. The person who's got a little bit of character on their side. And so it's like, those are the moments when kind of go like, you know what? Okay. Everything else sucks, but this part is all right. So I'm happy for you and your kid. Like, that's amazing. And then to just see their sort of like, their talent shine through, that's fucking cool. That's really, really cool.
Dig it, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it, man. So props out to my kid, like I'm saying, young Lee, doing the damn thing. Respect to him.
My good to great is kind of just on the more of the silly end, but I got to share this story. So, um, last week, um, we have this one special ed clerk who comes and works with us. She's not special ed; that's her role, and she comes and works with us like 2 days a week, and that helps like schedule the meetings, do all kinds of like clerical stuff. And so, she's really really nice, and she'll like bring us lunches, make us foods. Like she really fits in with our staff. She likes being around us. She made a fatal mistake. um, my office ladies hate cherry coke. They will drink regular coke, they will drink diet coke, they will Sprite, whatever. Cherry coke is just a no-go. I know this, she didn't know this. So she thought she was gonna spice things up a little bit. She brought lunch and she brought a liter of cherry coke. And you would have thought like that she had basically just like taken a big shit in the office where they were like, "Oh, this food's good," and nobody would touch the coke like at all. So then for the rest of the week, it was just like one of the ladies put it like on my desk, and so then I put it in the health office and wrapped it up like a baby and put it to sleep. And then someone else hid it in another place, and then I put it in a box and labeled it from HR to one of the ladies in the office, so she got a delivery. That was the fucking cherry coke. So then it gets back to the lady. We're all laughing about it. And we're like, "Hey, we got to tell you about this cherry coke thing." And she was like, "I didn't know," and it hurt her feelings, but it was like it wasn't intentional. And she's like, "Well, I didn't know." So then the next day, because my good to great is this dumb sandwich. So the next day after she finds out about the coke, she brings these little bread rolls. Mexican bread, they're called bolillos, and that's what a torta is made on. Which think of like a sort of mini French bread roll, a little bit softer, and then sour cream, slices of ham, and like a can of like sliced up chilies. And so I was like, I tell my office manager, I go, "Is she fucking pissed at us?" I was like, "Because what the hell is this struggle meal that she just brought over here?" So I go, "Hey, do you just clean out your cabinets and just bring whatever the fuck?" I was like, "Because this shit's crazy. Like this doesn't make sense." And then like open half open bag of like Doritos, where I was like, "Oh, this lady's fucking mad," you know. so so she's like, "No, no, no." She's like, "You make the sandwich. You like put some ham, put the sour cream in, put the chilies. It's gonna be great." And I was like, "I don't know." And we're very casual with each other. I was like, "This sounds dumb." And she's like, "It's not. Trust me." And I was like, "No, you're mad because of the fucking cherry coke thing." And she's like, "I'm not mad, but we're not going to talk about it." And I was like, okay. Stepping back. This dumb motherfucking sandwich was one of the best sandwiches I ever had in my life, where I was like, "Oh, this fucking bitch is onto something." This little bread roll with the sour, because I was like, sour cream on a sandwich? Dumb. Like, and then I'm just going to throw random chilies in here? Fucking stupid. Like, the whole time I'm making it, I'm just grumbling, fucking stupid ham, you know? Then I took a bite and I was like, fuck, the sandwich is so good. So then, and my office manager can see me through her door. So then she comes around and she's like, she's holding the sandwich and she's like whispering to me. She goes, "This fucking sandwich is so good. Why is this sandwich so good?" And I was like, "Right, like what the fuck?" She's like, "I don't understand." She's like, "This sandwich should not work. Ham, chilies, sour cream, that's it." She's all, and then we asked her, because we're like, "What's up with the bag?" And this was the sort of like, you know what it was? It hit the hood nostalgia. Because she goes, "Well, I brought the open bag of chips because, you put Doritos inside." And then, so I hit it with the Doritos inside. It was a wrap. It was a fucking wrap. And I was like, "God, I hate you for this so much," because I was talking mad shit. Like, I was like, "Damn, this is dorm room food. You're just mad. This is like when your lady's mad at you and she's like, 'Oh, fine. You don't like my food? Here you go. Here you go. Here's a fucking ramen.'" Like, God, this fucking sandwich was so good. I loved it so much where I was like, "God damn it, man." So let me tell you, people, get yourself a little bolillo sour cream, the sliced up chilies that come in the juice in the can, and then some thick slices of like deli ham. Game changer.
All right. You
And
know you
put the
boy to be
Doritos in
swine.
it.
Can I make it happen with like turkey? You think, or is the ham like really necessary?
I think the turkey might. I think it would work on turkey too. I think it would work on turkey as well. But it was that like. Have you ever had like like a jalapeno cream cheese?
Yeah.
It's that concept.
Okay.
You know, so you get the creaminess, the spiciness, like it kind of balanced really well. John 32.
A Mexican bomb.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Show title. Please write it down. Mexican bomb me.
You just won today. That is the show title. It's like a Mexican bomb me. It really was though. Like straight up, man. I was like, fuck this is so good. So yes. And thank you for the show title too, because we hadn't landed on one yet. But yeah, this fucking little sandwich, man. I'm telling you. But I think a turkey would work too. Yeah.
I got a Mercado around the corner from me over here, man. Like it's the one that Lizzo went to when she was in town and made a big stink
I remember
about.
you saying. Yeah.
And so it's like, I think by now, we kind of died down. I slide every now and again and go get me some Inca Cola or some shit from there, and you know what I'm saying? So it's been there for a while. But it means I have the ability to gather these items. Yeah. Make it happen. So
you know, when the weather's good, you take a little stroll, you and your lady get the condiments, make the little sandwichy. You good.
Indeed.
You're good. So let's keep it moving into this one. We're gonna get into our what's up with the TikTok band? Like not band, sorry, because they're not fucking artists, but like the band. Like if tell me like I'm trying to understand this. So we are banning TikTok because of China and their sort of data mining. But if they sell to the US, it can keep moving. But wouldn't it still be the same data mining? And am I tripping? Am I looking at this the wrong way? To me, it actually sounds like there's way more other issues involved in this. Like this is opening a door into like a lack of freedom of speech. Like, well, we can take this off and we can take that off, and now you can't have this or have that or the other thing. Like, I don't understand. Why is this the issue?
All right.
Speak on it, please.
Watch me cook.
All right. Hold on.
One, this was a poison pill. They snuck this in here because they knew the president wanted funding for Israel and Ukraine. Actually, he just wanted funding for Ukraine, but you have to take the good with the bad, because that's what he wants funding for to continue fighting in Ukraine, and we needed that dough. The only way we got was going to get that dough if we said, okay, you better keep funding Israel, and we gonna ban TikTok. You ain't gonna get away with that ban. You know, with this Supreme Court, who knows? But in most situations, this is gonna get almost immediately like put on an injunction put in on it via any appeals court, because you cannot. It's literally against the Constitution. You can't make a law where you are like, I'm going to simply make a law for this one company. Now, people keep swearing they have heard things. These lawmakers keep swearing they have heard things in backroom testimony that says some things about TikTok's algorithm and what the government, they swear the CCP is taking from that data. But oddly enough, an asshole who I don't get down with, Rand Paul of Kentucky, was like, I know who owns this company, and it ain't the CCP. It is mostly investors, a lot of them from America. It is a little bit of this company ByteDance that is in China, and so I guess you could say it works for the CCP, and that all companies in China work for the CCP. But like that's like saying, I don't know, Target works for the federal government because we shop there. It's like it doesn't work that way, and so it's not. Again, this will not pass constitutional muster. But again, this particular Supreme Court, who fucking knows? And so, and like I said, I'm almost positive the president would, in the end, would just be like, yeah, I'm not enforcing this for a goddamn no, fuck that. I'm not going to enforce it, and you're not going to enforce it either. And in fact, they'll probably just work around it when it's all said and done. But you can put it on for those people who are. What's real about it is these senators and Congress people are straight up and down in the pocket of social media like Facebook and not so much Twitter because they ain't got that kind of juice, but definitely the Facebook of it all, and are like, yo, man, people is not fucking with us because they are over there fucking with them.
Mhm.
We are losing eyes. You know who? At this point, it's just basically old people fucking with Facebook, and so they're like, we can't get the youth over here, and they getting all their news and it's that third. It's like, come on. I'm like, nah, man.
Yeah, because weren't we just doing this with Facebook like a few years ago?
Because Facebook is whack, and truly is just so full of fucking Russian bullshit that it's useless. I not to be like, oh, I got rid of Facebook. I got rid of Facebook because me and Facebook was not on good terms. I'm saying it's not like I got rid of Facebook because I'm so better, better than the next man. It's like, nah, man, I couldn't focus no more. But did I get rid of Facebook? Because I still have Instagram, which means I still have a Facebook situation. You know what I'm saying? In my phone at all times. But it's just general hating and money getting spread around to be like, come on, man, why don't you like get rid of TikTok is evil? It's like, can you really prove it? I ain't gonna lie to you. They Instagram, they algorithm do seem like it's thinking for you sometimes. Like, how did you know I want to know more about this?
Right.
Yeah, like I said, that Honda shit you sent me today changed my fucking life, my guy. I was already like fucking tight with Hondas because I was saying this my last 2 cars been Hondas, and I was like, oh man, I think I told Vanessa today after I saw that video, I was like, I think I'm a Honda man for life off of that shit.
Yeah.
So, not gonna even lie to you, bro. Sometimes that algorithm they got over there is like.
Yeah,
it's smart.
It's a little too good. But I remember when there was when these trials or inquiries were first starting, and I don't remember who it was, but when Homeboy was like, well, why is it that when I go on TikTok, I see 2 men kissing and I see this and I see that? And it was like, yeah, because that's your algorithm.
and you just don't know it. And they be so dumb. Like, you see 2 men kissing because you keep clicking on men kissing wherever you are. You know
you just outed yourself, my man. Like, that's what you did. I don't know what to tell you. Mine right now consists of a lot of parent comedy. Like, I got a teenage son, I got a teenage daughter, and their stories. And fucking dogs being cute, just dogs wearing outfits, and that's just what I've been watching.
You know what I get? I get internet drama, which I fucking love. I live for that shit. I eat it up. So right now, like they said, they eating up this British woman who was trying to talk shit about Black Americans. We do your accent better than you do, and it's like, bitch, the whole internet came for that bitch.
Oh shit, you guys send me one. You guys send me
because she had the audacity to swear British food is quality and it's so much better. And there's and then she named off these foods. She's like, the main British food, that's Jamaican food, that's Guyanese food, that's Nigerian food. What the fuck is you talking about?
Yeah.
What did you own about? And yeah, they had people it was so good. And I was like, thank you, TikTok.
Yeah.
I get TikTok, I get Reddit stories that I always end up going to type into Reddit and look them up myself so I can read because it'll stop and you be like, where's part 2? They never make a part 2. It's intentional.
Yeah.
They want you to go to their page and dig and look for part 2 that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And so I just type them into Reddit and go find them myself, and I can all right, there's the update. So I get that. That's my algorithm, and it's like nothing too, like I said, that's really what I kind of get, and then whatever.
Oh, and a ton of skateboarding too. I get a ton of skateboarding stuff, but
I like that.
It's kind of just like.
Have you seen the thing that one guy is working with Tony Hawk to try to find a guy from I think it was a Life magazine picture of a guy in a suit on a skateboard?
Yes.
Tony Hawk wants to know who that is, so they've been working on trying to figure out.
Because it's a classic photo. Because the guy in the suit, he's a clean cut, fucking looking out of Mad Men, the TV show, but riding an old skateboard. I think it's a briefcase in his hand. It's a clean fucking photo. Yeah. Which
via that video, I learned that skateboard wheels used to be made out of clay, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
it's crazy to me.
No, they ran rough, but it's like, I don't know. The worry I have is this is just in a sense, new Patriot Act. It's just, hey, it's the new way to sort of be all up in your business, and the reality is there will just at some point Facebook will die, as it is dying, and TikTok will die. And it'll keep moving to something else. So it's we're just going to keep chasing this thing until it's done. But it just worries me in terms of like freedoms, like, because I also think too, it is regulated, like you don't see like hardcore porn on it and stuff like that. But what does run nicely on there is like the speech, like you can find your platform. You can, I think that's where it's like how Twitter used to be, where it was like you found out the news before the news had the news. It was like
the news
it was
oftentimes
right
at
there.
this point gets news from TikTok.
Yeah. And it's moving quick. And so you're having like random ass people be credible sources. And so it's almost like these sort of like mini clusters are getting together. And I'm like, I think it's just we have to adjust to the changes, which like in contrast to this, or in a similar way, not contrast, is like I went to this I was like in this all-day meeting thing where we're talking about like working with like diverse groups of students, and how we still have like educators who are like, well, back in my day, or I've been teaching here so long that when the neighborhood was different, the culture and community was different, moms didn't work, whatever, they name all the things. And in working with staff members like that, I always toss out, when's the last time you wrote a check?
Yeah.
When did you start using Apple Pay? Oh, I noticed you drive a Prius. Like, you can adjust to things.
Yeah.
You just don't realize that the world is evolving, and sometimes you evolve naturally, but you're so resistant to this other change. And it's like, it goes with this TikTok thing. Like, just let it fucking ride. Like, it would be way different if it was truly like, okay, this is super fucking dangerous. But it's like, I'm struggling to see the danger. Maybe I'm blind to it. Maybe I'm fucking sucked into it, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know. But it's like, people gotta chill, especially these older generations. And I'm part of the older generation. Like, you guys are fucking up. That's like the whole, oh shit, like the one thing, and I've seen it on TikTok a ton, where it's like, you guys fucked around and found out with Gen Z. You let people shoot up their schools, then you set up the National Guard, and National Guard can't do shit because they know how to defend themselves against shooters. And they're like fighting back, and I was just like, I mean,
bruh, I have no idea why this country, and I guess maybe it's more people in the world, is like, we got to be against communism. I'm like, bro, communism ain't hurting me, and I get it. It seems weird that I'm not trying. I'm not even trying to say I'm pro communism, because the notion of communism is great. It just doesn't work because people are involved. Yeah. So it doesn't work. It just exists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, because I think it's speaking from. It's the whole too long didn't read. I just read the headlines. And so then you say whatever, you say X is bad and Y is right. And so then that's that. And it's like, actually kind of read through and read a few things and like collect information and then get an educated decision, as opposed to like, this is bad. And you know why I said it bad? Because CNN said it's bad. Fox News said it's bad. Like, and it's like, you understand those are like just, that's a fucking job. That's a paid organization. And just like websites want to get your clicks, they want to get your views. And so they're angled in a way. So it's like, collect your different sources and fucking figure it out. But yeah, I'm tripping off of this. I'm just like, this shit is so dumb. But I think it's a slippery slope that's going to fuck us.
And again, I think it won't pass constitutional muster and will be, like I said, almost immediately this is going to be catch an injunction. And also they gave them a year to sell. And then and right then already said, I'm not, so fuck you with that bullshit, but I will see you in court. ACLU already said we're going to support TikTok on this because this, like I said, it doesn't pass constitutional muster. And that's going to be like, you can't make a law like this. You can't make a law that you're like, that one company got we aim it at this one company, because that's just not how laws work. We don't build laws for single companies. We don't. And like I said, I don't trip off of it. I know that it's the headline, because that's the thing. That's what also is, if you looked at it, everybody always calls it's the TikTok ban bill. It's TikTok ban bill. Well, no, it's the funding. You know what I'm saying? The war in Ukraine. It's funding consistently. Well, not like we had never stopped, but
because it's just like Israel. Calling it Obamacare.
But you don't want to.
It's like,
you don't want.
It was never called Obamacare. Like, that's not the thing.
Until it was. Until now, because like I said, Obama's like, fuck yeah, call that shit Obamacare, and President Joe Biden is like, yeah, I call it Obamacare because I like that.
But it's like when you sort of
don't
you attempt to villainize something is like, all right, fine, you know.
Yeah.
But so we'll shift gears off of that and let's jump into some what you play, man. What you been playing?
Bruh, Fortnite going hard 'cause that Avatar event, and I actually just cleared that particular set of the Avatar specific battle pass.
Mhm.
So I got my Appa glider, I got glow in the dark Aang. Fuck with it.
Oh, I heard you say on Space Crunch and Milk, which is T's other podcast. If you don't listen, you need to listen. But my man's over here said that he had like 14 kills, and I was like, "Wow, you were on it."
I normally can go through a whole game of Fortnite and have one game of Fortnite with a single kill, and I killed the last person standing. That's normally how I play Fortnite. But this Avatar event with earthbending, you have firebending, waterbending, all that shit. But that earthbending is OP as fuck. You can throw up a wall, so if people are shooting at you, you can just block the bullets.
Yeah,
and then come around, and then so you throw up the wall, left trigger, throw basically walls of giant rocks at people with the right trigger. And if they just don't be hitting, and they be like, I'm just gonna shoot through it. Like, I didn't hit you with a wall, bro. Are you not understanding how much
you're hitting them with force powers, like.
And so I got in that particular round, I got two people downhill from me shooting at each other at close range, tight enough together that when they got together, I throw a brick and they had already weakened each other. I killed them with a brick. On the video, you can watch me. I killed one dude with a brick who was getting shot about, like, so it's us three. So they shoot again, they shoot each other. I get one dude with a brick. The other dude turned to try to get me. I knock a tree down with one of them bricks, and then I killed that dude with a brick. I have the video. You can go looking for that video. It's on my Twitter right now. Go look at it. You can watch me do that, murk that shit out, and you can see how many kills I got. If it's not 14, it's definitely in the double digits. You can see it right there, and watch me fucking get. And you're like, damn, T, you was on one. I was on one that day, bro.
You must have been hyped.
Because I was just like, man, I'm glad I wasn't playing on PlayStation. You know, PlayStation records when you get them moments like that. I was just on the Xbox. But yeah, bro, I've been on that shit, and then, bruh, I got down a Tetris wagon wheel the other day.
Oh shit! What?
Tetris Effect connected, but also I played a few rounds of Tetris 99. I love playing Tetris 99 on the Switch to this day. That's that shit. I love playing other high level Tetris players and trying to get my ass just past 50 remaining players. That shit is a battle royale, and it's a hard one still. But then I was in the Tetris mood, and I have Tetris Effect connected on my Switch. I bought it on the Switch forever ago, so I ran through and just like, I'm going to play that shit. Ran through that shit. Got to credits, and I was like, damn, I'm really on that shit. And I was like, man, but that game is wild pretty on PlayStation. And I got a PlayStation 4 copy when it was just Tetris Effect before they added the connected part. Yeah. So I threw that in my PlayStation 5 over here, and it's like, oh, for $10 more, you can upgrade to the PS5 edition. I was like, oh, I'll slide you a tenner. So ran through that whole game a second time, straight to credits. It's really pretty. It's pretty. It's lovely on the Switch, especially playing on your OLED Switch. But it's got so many little graphical tweaks and trigger tweaks on the PlayStation 5. And twice in one day, I ran through that game straight to credits. I love Tetris. Tetris has been my game. Like I told Vanessa the other day, I've been playing Tetris since '89. Since it came out on Game Boy. I'm not joking.
Like, this is in my DNA.
It is, yeah. And I love that game. And so I played the shit out of that, man. I just absolutely love it. And that's really what I've been on. Oh, Monopoly Go. God.
This motherfucker, man. Almost had me in. I was struggling over the weekend.
It's so stupid good, and it's a partner event going right now. And I'm gonna talk greasy about them to their face on Stage HML. My very dearest and bestest friends did not leave space for me in the partner event on either of their games. I went to go just add them, and it said, "Oh, we already have 4 on both their pages." I was like, "Oh."
Damn, they left you.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I cannot front. Truly, my feelings are hurt.
They drove right past you, like you were like sitting at the corner, like, cool, you can pick me up at 5.
I did not. We did not. I on both situations did not complete the event the last time we did, and I know they're like, this nigga don't be finishing, and they went to go make sure they found people that would finish events with them, and I'm just like, but I was like, damn, my feelings is really hurt off of this, and it shouldn't be because it's a stupid video game, but. It's cool.
You're like, I thought there was a seat for me at the table.
It was not.
Not even a plate and some foil, huh? Damn.
Nah. So that is going to be a conversation on my own show come this week, and
I'll be listening. I'll be listening.
And I know what it is, and I know what they'll say, and it's just like whatever. But it's like I'm still not right about it. I tell you that shit to your face. Yeah. That's like,
and the way T's sitting back right now, you know it's real because he's sitting back like, I got something for your ass. I got something for your ass.
I think let me look at this list and make sure
that face says to me, it says you can say what you need to say. I'm just letting you know it happened.
That's so whack, man.
That's fucked up.
And so now, because then it becomes obvious, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's just never happened again. Because I'm simply not gonna fuck with it no more. So it becomes okay. It becomes now it's just like, okay,
my man got petty. He said, okay,
it has to be. It's like just for my own good sense at that point. I'm like, all right, we don't fuck around no more.
Okay.
Now I ain't got so bad as to start attacking them. You know what I'm saying? Because I could.
Yeah,
but I don't do that.
You're like, listen, fool me once. I'll leave it at that. Fool me once. I'll be like, hey, what you been playing, why is Steve's Crunchy Milk only one person now? You're like, Monopoly went.
I'll shut that whole bitch down before I fucking try to do it by myself. It'd be like put a whole fucking plug in anyway. Don't do that to me. What are you playing, man?
All right. So, okay. So when we recorded last time, I was talking about just don't want to unload the Steam Deck. And I was like, man, I can't. And fucking prices plummeting, like plummeting. So even just trying to there were a few deals that kind of just fell through, and I was like, fuck. So during the show in the chat, I hit up Donnie was like, I'll buy it. And I was like, yeah, cool. Fucking get a PlayStation Portal, trade it, boom, we're good.
Yeah.
And so then when I was in DC, he was like, right before, he's like, hey, send me the Steam Deck. And then he sent me the receipt for the fucking Portal. And I got no complaints, man. I fucking love that Portal. I
didn't think about getting one.
It's really, you know what it is? It's stupid easy. It does what it's supposed to do, and that's all you need it to do. The screen is fucking nice, like real nice. It's big.
Is it OLED or LCD?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't know. But it's nice and bright and crisp. And if you already know the DualSense controller, boom, it just makes sense. The touchpad is just like the left and right side of the screen. So if you just touch it with your thumb, then you activate it. And it just connects really well. I did watch some YouTube videos leading up before I ever set it up, just to see hey, here's some pro tips. Because a lot of people talk about you can't play Call of Duty on it because the lag is real off. But then I started seeing videos where people actually, if you start, because it's all remote play. You start up your PlayStation Portal, then you go into your PlayStation, and then restart the PlayStation as you're reconnected. Don't restart before, restart after and reconnect. Then it eliminates your lag. And let me tell you, I did that, and I went from because I could tell the lag was there, where it was one of those where I'm laying bullets into dudes, and then they turn around and are pop, done. And I'm yeah, lag is bad. Did the little restart trick, man. It was clean, real clean. So I've been super impressed, and then like I said, it just does what it's supposed to do. So I don't have to configure this and change that. There's some minor tweaks to adjust in there, but for the most part, it just fucking works. And I was like, this is actually real nice. And I would say my only kind of gripe about it, two kind of complaints, but they're minor. One is it's either loud or off. The volume isn't smooth. So let's say it's that last tick before there's no sound, I would expect it to be really low. And it goes from it goes from this voice to off. So that's it needs more progression. So that you can imagine that the next tip up from that is loud as fuck. This thing is loud. So the volume just, it's not balanced right. It's either volume on or off type of thing.
Hmm.
And then and this is just a small one. I mentioned this on PSVG because I think I was on there last week, was I would like to have just a single start button, because you have to turn on the PlayStation Portal and then connect to the PlayStation, like the PlayStation 5. So
Yeah.
it's actually two starts. I would like just a feature, just a quick toggle to be like auto connect or something. So then that way, if I'm starting because you can't do shit with the Portal if you're not connected to the system. It's not like you can be like browsing the internet and shit. So it's like, why not just make it one single start? Like if I'm turning on the Portal, then I'm turning on my PlayStation. Like that should just be a given. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
but it's not enough for me to be like, this thing's fucking garbage. Nah, it's worth it. Definitely worth it. And then for as much as I usually play like in 30-minute bites, and I think I've only had to charge it like once, so it's not bad. It really gets the job done. So I've been super pleased. And then with that, the funny thing is though, I get this whole new fucking device, and I've just been playing Bully, like the old Rockstar game. So it's like, that's been fun. And then still kind of chipping away a little bit of Call of Duty and a little bit of Zelda. So, but I just haven't had a lot of game time lately. Just it's really been just like,
it's the time of year for you. It's and like, so it's like literally in a month it'll be the other way. Like I got too much time on my hands.
Exactly. Then it'll get more use. But so that's kind of where I am right now. But now let's jump into the what you watching.
X-Men 97 is so good. Why is it so good? Why is this Saturday morning cartoon that's so much more than that at this point? It's so well written. It's not that it's so much better animated, but it is well animated, and the action is insane, but it is so well written. If you are you caught up, you already caught up?
Okay, so in contrast, and I think it just might be my mindset right now, it's not clicking with me, but I'm not shitting on it. I'm not saying it's like it's bad or anything like that. It's so dense that it's like I can't comprehend. I need something in this moment in time a little bit lighter, because I know it's doing social commentary, the relationships, it's way more drama. And so I'm like, man, I recognize that, oh, there's some good shit here, but I'm like, it's over my fucking head right now. But I think I'm like 4 episodes in.
All right. I'm just going to this episode, this week opens up, the scene that opens up episode 7 is so much better than it has any right to be, that I'm literally a little bit astounded by it. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? And then again, it goes back to Bo DeMayo, who is the showrunner for, will have been the showrunner for the first 2 seasons of this show, but then he got fired right before the show came out. I don't know what Bo DeMayo did to get fired. I'm not saying it could be some real bad shit. He could really be an HR violation, but it could also be like with James Gunn. It's like you fired the motherfucker and you're like, let me bring you back because you know what? We missing a little spice here, a little zest.
Mm-hmm.
But he wrote a really he had been off of social media since he had been let go, but he came back for episode 4, 5. Whatever, when the Genosha one, so I think maybe there was 5. And he came back on social media to talk about that and how it relates to the Post nightclub shooting in Orlando some years back.
Yeah,
bro. At this point, it's like everything going forward. You're like, oh, this is a different show now to me, because it is speaking about people. People being attacked in their safe spaces. It's basically talking about race. It's talking about LGBTQ plus people. It's touching on all these things, all like Chaufie said. But you wouldn't have known it, but then you do know it, and so it's like I love it. It is more it's more PG-13 than PG, and so it's not a kid show currently, but it's definitely a show for people who now have kids who watched it back in the day. And again, it's so much doper than it has any right to be. And I think it's well worth the watch. And who knows? Maybe let it stack and just watch all 10 when they're all out there. and then that way you can just binge it. But it's such a great show, and I love watching week to week. Me and Vanessa, I'll be like, all right, come down here right before you start work, and I'll just I kind of dip over from from my job, and we're gonna watch this morning when it comes out because the internet be trying to spoil me every fucking week, bro. I got spoiled this week, just opening YouTube. People had already started reviewing.
God damn it already!
And I'm like, and they just their screen images, their thumbnails. I'm like, you motherfuckers, bro. Loot is back on Apple TV. Loot is such a good show, and I have such fun with it. Maya Rudolph, Ron Funches, Nat Faxon, I don't know, lots of other actors. It's a fun show. The very ideal is that a Jeff Bezos type his wife finds out he's cheating and divorces him and gets half Eddie, and she's like, I'm gonna take this half of this money and I'm gonna give it all away, just like one Mackenzie Scott who was out here trying to give all the wealth away, and she is so bad at it. But she's trying so hard, and she really
it's like her intentions are there, but it also goes to show like how hard it is to do good deeds sometimes, because where she's like, oh, we're gonna do this, like we're gonna buy this property, and it's like, yeah, but you can't do that. Or we're gonna work at this organization. It's like, yeah, you can't do that. Like
the city don't fuck with you, and they're not gonna let you do this. And there's laws in the books about you doing that kind of stuff, and so on and so on. It's like, so it's just watching her overcome these challenges or find ways to work around the law with a real good team of people and a real fun. Ron Funches is a great actor. I have such fun watching him in just about everything he does, man. Him as King Shark on the Harley Quinn show. He should be King Shark everywhere. The fact he's not is bullshit. But
Ron Funches is just, to use one of T's terms, a delight. Sure. He is this, like, really, really is. So Loot is the same as X-Men for me, and even including Fallout. I know they're good. They're good. But
you recognize them for what they are, but they're not.
I'm just mentally drained that I'm missing stuff. Like the fact that, like, okay, so the pieces I've picked up, because there are points, like, and Ron Funches is really shining this season. Like, it really is kind of shifted from Maya Rudolph and into Ron, because then it's like, it's the whole Swifty thing going on. It's
God, that was a fun episode.
I'm up to that episode, and then it's like, I don't know if it was the same episode where he's trying to sell his wrestling memorabilia, and he's talking about and it's like, damn, like, this is like so like relatable in a way, like, to be passionate about something, and then you get hyped up and people are just like, this is dumb. And you're like, the fuck you mean this dumb? Where he's like, this is Tank, or whoever it was. He's like, do you not understand? And so he's really, really shining on this, but I know I'm missing a lot of stuff in here that I'm like, okay, when this is all said and done, I'm going to go watch X-Men. I'm going to rewatch Loot, because I know these shows are good. It's just right now I'm too tired.
I hear you. I get it and I understand. So,
and the same goes for Fallout. I know you're going to talk about Fallout too. Like, when I've latched in, I've enjoyed it, and I'm just like, but I'm missing shit.
I'm like, I think we were watching tonight, and I think we're maybe 6 episodes in. It's great, and you don't have to have. I have not played Fallout. I played a bit of Fallout 3 back in the day, but you don't need to have played Fallout to understand it. It's a fun series so far. It's interesting, and I can't wait to figure out. I want to know that there's a mystery going on this in general. Like, how do people live in this long? And I need to know what's going on with that. And I hope it gets explained to me at some point. And so I'm excited for that myself. And then Kind of Funny supposed to do a spoiler cast of it tomorrow. So I was like, shit, I'm trying to get caught up before I watch that. So
because I think I'm around 4 episodes too. I'm like 4 episodes in all these shows. And so then I'm like, but to the point where I'm like, okay, I gotta fucking not watch more, because I don't want to be too deep and be lost. But what I like that Fallout's doing is that I feel like the multiple storylines, and they're starting to cross, but it's like, it could just be about the girl. It could just be about the guy in the mech suit. It could just be about the guy with it could just be singular, but it's not. And I feel like those plot lines are well developed. And I think, but you can see how they can and will connect. And I'm like, this is for sure. This is well done.
And so I think that's gonna. I think all the four story points are basically the vault, the girl, the mech suit dude, and then the ghoul. And I think
Yeah.
they're all will converge toward somewhere at this point. I feel like they must.
Yeah.
I watched this movie Argyle on Apple TV Plus yesterday, day before, whatever. That movie is so shittily reviewed, and every critic and their mama talks so much shit about it. But if you like Matt Vaughn, like Kingsman, yeah, man, God, her ass is so fat, man. And but I watched that movie. It's a Matt Vaughn joint. Like I said, Kingsman. If you watch those movies, is in that vein.
I love them.
Colorful, a whole lot of fun. That movie was a whole lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. But then after I watch it, right, I noticed, Apple TV got that little top 10 list, and they like this is the big door prize. And I'm like, I started that show, but I never finished it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a look. If it's in the top 10, there's got to be something about it. So I go and I end up finishing that first season, only to find out that they have a second season that they've already started.
Oh, really?
I'm like, oh, okay. And it was so good. And it's another one that you like. It's a lot of watching and a lot of stories that got to converge and go in places.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, yo, this is pretty fun. And it's better than I thought it was. And I was happy to get back into it. And then like all of a sudden I'm caught up, and it's like episode next Wednesday. I'm like, motherfucker. I was hoping that the second season had come and gone already, that I could just binge it all and be done, because it ended up being that good. And so I was like, nope, I'm actually just 2 episodes. It's actually two episodes into this next season, and the big door prize on Apple TV Plus. You might not enjoy it.
I know that one too, and it falls into the same realm. That one, I think I've started it twice, and I enjoy it, but it's just right show, wrong time type of thing. So it's on my list. It's on my to watch list.
I see you got Baby Reindeer on this. So I checked out some of that. Vanessa watched the whole thing. That shit was wild.
Yeah, man.
Did y'all finish that?
Yeah, finished it. And so like that. Okay, so like how I think last time we talked about what's the kids TV show where I was like, that's a fucking real hard watch. The documentary one.
Oh, Quiet on the Set.
Quiet on the Set. So like this has that same element that if you've ever had like some serious traumatic experiences in your life, it's not an easy watch. Yeah. And so like watching this show, it's really interesting, like to see how this unfolds and see how his sort of like mind processes and stuff like that, and then his experience with this person. And then just to be like, someone said this and I was like, oh, that's crazy. They're like, because the main actor is the writer who experienced these things, and it's fictionalized version of his life. And so someone said, this man lived through this, then wrote it down, then lived through it again so that he could tell his story to us. And I was like, fuck, that's a lot, because it's a lot to watch. And then as like someone who has lived through traumatic experiences, like it was already challenging to process. And then I've actually had like 2 legit stalkers in my life where like dealing with that was like, and this was like in like high school time. And the shit was crazy, because it like one of them had got really, really serious where we had to like involve some authorities. Wow. And the other one was just it was like, it ended up taking like, so the easier one was like really weird because it was like a friend's cousin who like found me in a yearbook, and I never met her. And she would just like start calling me because my number was like, hey man, keep in touch. Here's my number, blah, blah, blah. So then she'd be like, hey, she let me know up front, hey, I saw your picture. You're friends with my cousin. And I was like, yeah, I don't know you, Yeah. But then it would get into like, I'd get a call. And this is early. This is like, we don't got cell phones. Like pagers are kind of just a thing, And so then she'd get my pager, and it's just it was like being blown up all the time. And that went on for like quite a while, like maybe like a smooth, like 6 months. And then it was just like, finally when I was able to track down my friend, because we went to separate schools at that point. And I was like, hey man, like, is this like legit your cousin? And he was like, yeah. I was like, dude, like, she won't quit. Like,
Yeah.
listen, look at all these texts, look at this shit. And he was like, oh, or not texts, but like pages. And so he's like, okay, I'm gonna tell my mom, and my mom will tell her mom, and then that like shut it down. Whereas like the other one, she just lived around the way from my house, and we were like a little friend group, and she was like a friend of a friend type of thing. And then it would be like in the house we were living in, I had like the back door was in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And so then I would just get like random knocks on the door, and it'd be like, it is midnight. Why are you in my backyard? Like, what the fuck are you doing here? You know? Or like on vacation, she had family like in Vegas, and then would just like call me like every 30 minutes, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, can you like enjoy your vacation? I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. Like, leave me alone, And it was one of those things that escalated. Like I said, we were all friends. We'd all hang out, this, and that. And then it just got like an ownership type of thing. And I try to be very neutral, where I'm just like, listen, it's cool. You want someone to talk to, we can talk, whatever, like, but then it just became this like, you can't hang out with your friends. Why aren't you picking up the phone? And then it would get like aggressive towards like my mom would pick up, and then my mom would go off and be like, listen, you need to stop fucking calm, blah, blah, blah. And then we would end up like, because she just lived like a couple blocks over, meet with her family to be like, listen, this is what's going on. Like, this is getting too serious. Where then it got to the point where we had to like involve the police, because they're like, listen, we've talked to her family. She's showing up at our house, like this, that, the other thing, like her like harassing me in class, like where I'd be like, because we went to the same high school, and she would just walk into the classroom and then just be like, oh, I just need to talk to him real quick. And I'd be like, no, don't fucking talk to me. Like, I'm doing math. Like, and then, I'd get the look at me like, the fuck is up with this girl, like wanting to talk to you right now? And I'm like, I'm not a part of this, So it was real stressful. And that went probably like freshman to like junior year. And then it started up a little bit again, like after high school. And it was just kind of funny, because then funny in like a weird way. So I have this cousin who he passed I think I married like 2007, so around then. But my cousin was really close to me. Well, my cousin was a fucking mess, like he passed away from an overdose. So he was not making the best decisions. But one day this girl showed up at my parents' house, and I happened to be home for like that weekend. And again, just pulling up. And she's like, well, I just, it's been a long time. Just want to say hi. And so then I was just like, listen, like, come on, man, you can't be doing this. And so then my cousin, who was like full gang member, he's got the look, and I remember him just coming up, and he fucking throws the screen door open, and he's like, listen, you fucking bitch. It just starts fucking going off on her, and it's just like in her face. And like, so she got in the car and she left. And that was honestly like the last time that like she ever tried to make contact again. But yeah, shout out to Fat Boy, man. He really came through. R.I.P. So I say all that to say, like, yeah, so watching Baby Reindeer was really hard, because it's like, not only am I watching it for entertainment, but it's also like it's bringing up all these drama, where I'm like, fuck, this is a lot. Like, I don't like this, And so, but seeing how he processed through is just like, okay, well, here's another thing to unpack. It's like, fuck, man. Like I said, I can't watch Loot or X-Men because they're too fucking deep. Then I watch this dumbass show, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go die. Like, just let me go. Oh, God. Fuck all this. We got some pills or some shit. Like, ugh, gross. So that was a lot. But on the plus side, because like I said, I have been so brain fried. We watched season 2 of Eugene Levy's Reluctant Traveler. And his shows, I prefer to be home. I'm not against traveling, but it's like, because life is always so intense for me, that I like to shut down. But I know everyone else likes to go do shit. So I can be a reluctant traveler, where I'm like, all right, fine, we'll go do the thing. But then when I'm there, I'm having a good time and I'm seeing it. And that's kind of his pathway too, where he's being exposed to new places, new cultures, new environments, but there's sort of a level of like apprehension too, you know. So that's on HBO Max. That's or no, that's Apple TV, and that one's
Okay.
really really good because it's funny too the way he presents. Now on a whole different level, but the same sort of vein, Conan O'Brien has a new travel show called Conan Must Go,
Yeah.
and that one's on HBO Max. And that shit is fucking hilarious. Like his whole concept behind it is like, we're gonna travel to new places, and I'm hoping that you now learned less about the place because I was there. And so he meets like fans of the show, and then just does his wacky Conanness. And we watched it thinking like the Eugene Levy one, you can kind of watch it. It's a little bit mindless. You can kind of calm down. This one just had us howling, like laughing, laughing, laughing because he's just crazy. So
Yeah.
those two shows were just a lot of fun. And because it's like physical comedy or like environmental stuff, it's not heavy on the dialogue. It's not like you're getting into the drama. You're just kind of experiencing the experience with them. But I really recommend, like, if you like travel shows, you like seeing new like communities and cultures and just environments, I really recommend watching both of those shows. They're a lot of fun. They really, really are good.
Dig.
Yeah, for
That's what's
sure.
up, man.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, if you want to you know, feel bad about your life, watch Baby Reindeer. Um if you want to just learn about the world, watch but you don't want to leave your couch, you can watch Eugene Levy and Conan O'Brien do their travel shows.
Sound like a plot to me.
But as we kind of wrap things up, let's jump into the what you spinning.
Oh, bro, I got a whole stack of records here, but I need to tell you all
That
I
you need not
am
be bothered.
I am on this fucking Beyonce shit so fucking hard. Cowboy Carter is so good. And you think I'd be off of by now? No.
Now it's got a grip on you.
It get constant play. And then I keep finding something else to love about it in a different way. But that album is good. And you probably should be fucking with it. And it's not and it's not just country music, but it is some country music, and that's amazing in its own right. But it's like the harmonies that are it's I've never heard an album sound as clean in my entire life, Chaufie, man. I don't know what that the way that shit is mixed and produced. I'm like,
No, I will give you that. The production on there, it's too clean. It is like amazing.
I've never heard anything like it.
But I want to
truly
say
have
it's
not.
like 5 years in the making. Like, so they've really put some work into crafting a project that is like complete. Like and I want to say there's like, if this has, what does it have? 24 tracks, 30 tracks?
27, yeah, 27,
yeah.
27 tracks, yeah.
That there's like 3 times that worth of material.
Yeah.
And they really just curated the fuck out of this. And I'm like, wow. Yeah, my wife has come like full circle, you know, because I'm not like, country is not my vibe, and I understand this is a diverse album for sure, so it's not just one lane. But we were both talking, we're just like, yeah, this ain't it. And now as it's been out for a bit, my wife is like, I fucking get it. Like, I get it, this song and that song and this one and that one, and like understanding and lyrically and all, and I'm just like, bruh, that's awesome.
The 1-2 punch of Blackbird and 16 Carriages, that's twice now, made me weep. Not tear up, not cry a little bit, weep in a way that I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Like, got you.
Yeah, and I'm just and people are like, oh, I know Blackbird, but I don't know Blackbird because I don't know the Beatles like that. So I don't. It's new to your boy, and then it has all these beautiful black women singing on it. It's so fucking good, y'all.
Yeah.
That's it. As for these records, it was record store day on 420. And so your boy went out and copped. I had a list of records that I wanted, and I got every fucking one of them, Chaufie. I got them all. Now, what was fun is I took my son with me because we had to go get him re-up his learner's permit because it had expired, and open a bank account for him. I was like, all right, if we doing that shit, you got to come to the record store day, and you got to help me stand in line to get some records. And so for doing that, his reward was he asked for and received this In Utero 30th anniversary limited edition of Nirvana's In Utero.
That's a really good 30th edition too. I have that one. I fucking love it.
Comes with a sweet little 10-inch. So
yep.
Lots to be enjoyed there. But I went in there with a few records. I was like, I got to get them. And what's fun about this is I'm in line, I'm chopping up with the people, and I have been to the record store day several times where people like will not tell you what they want because they think you're going to go get the record from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have had it happen where I did get a record that somebody wanted, and they were super salty about it. So I mean,
did that happen last year? Where you're like, oh, this one?
I didn't do it intentional, but
Yeah.
basically they wanted this is our face record, and
Yes.
Vanessa was with me, and she snagged that bitch, and she had it, and I was like, sorry, buddy, it's the only copy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm quick to be like, I want this. This is what I'm here for. I don't care. I'll tell people I'm in a celebratory mood. I was talking to this lady who's sitting in front of me, and we just chopping it up, and she's telling me about her partner and how they collect records together. It's their couples thing. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Okay.
And he's at another record store up the street. And
damn, they divide and conquer, huh?
Yeah. And my kid's like, all right, man, it's early and I'm hungry. I'm like, well, go to Starbucks, go get some shit. And I asked the lady, I'm like, hey, you want anything? She goes, oh, man, I just get a coffee. You know what I'm saying? I go, what kind? She goes, just a black coffee. And I go, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Remember that as I tell the story. So these are the records I wanted.
That's who it comes down to. I already know where this is going.
These are the records I wanted. These are the records I got. De La Soul, live at Tramps, 1996. De La Soul performed at this nightclub in New York called Tramps. Fucking, it's one of them shows that people know about. Mm-hmm. And they made a vinyl of that bitch. Tan vinyl, lovely. It's gorgeous. Boogie Down Productions, Edutainment. So one of my all-time favorite KRS-One songs. Love's Gonna Get You is on here. Fuck yeah.
Got 200 clips.
Delvin would appreciate this. It's Illmatic remixes and rarities.
Nice.
As celebrating the 30th anniversary of Illmatic. Your boy got that. It's also actually, I think, on the turntable right now, which is why it's empty.
Yeah.
This one I tried to argue myself out of. I was like, I'm not gonna bother. And then of course I bought it. Which is Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, Ready to Die, instrumentals. Not a lot of instrumentals, like 5 instrumentals on this bit. Okay. Big Papa, One More Chance, Who Shot Ya, Juicy, Unbelievable, and Warning. So 6.
I mean, those are good instrumentals.
They are. Yeah. Unbelievable is one of my favorite little joints ever. So it's hot. But I said I wanted a record, and then I read about it, and that's it. It said, there's going to be, I think, 3,500 copies worldwide. Small when you think about the planet as a whole.
Right.
And I tell this lady about it, and she just kind of like, okay. And she was in front of me in line.
Yeah.
She sees this record, grabs it out, and says, got you. And I'm like, word.
Damn.
Daft Punk.
Shit.
Something about us. It's the love theme from Interstellar 5555.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon they made for the album Discovery.
Yes.
This hasn't been reissued since 2003. Original copies go for like $350. So to get my hands on this repress, 1, did not expect to. 2, the only copy they had.
Damn.
That's the only copy they had in that entire store.
And she was like, I got you. I'm looking out.
I already have Discovery, so of course I can listen to these songs on that. But I love the way they're put together on this little single, and I love the little art. I ended up watching this cartoon. I found it on YouTube, so I ended up finding it and watching the whole cartoon. I hadn't seen it before. It's great. They got Toho Animation to do it, so it's this beautifully animated, like anime shit with just Daft Punk music playing over the entire thing. It's fucking amazing.
I see. I didn't know that. I thought it was just. I didn't know they actually like made a show.
The whole little movie. I'll send you the link.
Send me the link because I would love to watch that because I remember like watching the videos and I was like, this fucking shit. I mean, it hits the fucking Macross feels where I was like, shit, I need this to be real. But now finding out it is real, I'm like, shit.
The only one I couldn't get locally is Dirty Heads. It's Dessert. It's an EP. I saw this record and wanted it just because I thought, well, that's pretty. Then I ended up listening to it. These white boys doing some reggae hip hop type shit. That's amazing.
Is this the Japanese one you were asking about?
It turned out it's not. When I initially bought it, it was from a shop in Japan who then wrote me back and was like, "We don't got that shit," and refunded my money. So I ended up getting this from a shop where in DC.
Oh shit!
The guy mailed it to me. I want you to look at this record.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
beautiful.
Gorgeous. It's an EP, 2 songs on each side, but it's this gorgeous, like sea glass blue kind of color situation. Guess how much I paid for this record? Mind you, I initially paid $44, $22 for the record, $22 for shipping from Japan, and of course that got canceled. How much do you think I paid for that?
I'm gonna say $17.
15.
Damn. See,
15,
was in there.
$15. I think you might have charged me $5 for shipping.
That's what's
for the first time in a very long time. Every record I want, for Record Store Day, I got, and I mean every single record. And out of nowhere, I was just singing a song off of this album the other day, so I pulled it out to give it a spin. That is Rampage, The Last Boy Scout. That's Busta Rhymes' homeboy. Scouts Out of My Way of Blood. That's his was his first album. I think he only has like 2. What's dope about this one is it's the unedited version. It's the parental advisory version. If you go listen to the one that's on DSPs right now, it's edited. It sucks.
Yeah.
But that's the unedited version, that uncut raw. I actually have own the CD for that as well. That's my shit. Flip Mode is the squad, is the song you want to play on that bitch. It's a posse track.
Mm-hmm.
That shit go
I know that one.
hard AF, and I love it. And that's what your boy been spending in a lot this week. A lot of
in that same vein of like seeing something and finding it, like I was kind of in the mood for like some Amy Winehouse.
I saw it. It's a beautiful pressing too.
Man. And you know your boy loves the color vinyl.
Yes.
And so I was like, let me see what's out there. And then I saw that fucking Target had a hot pink version. And then it was on sale for like $15 or some shit. And I was like, damn. And then I used my Target Red card, which got me a little more discount. Yeah. And so I was like, this is a fucking score. And so it was just like, in a matter of moments, it was like, had this album on hand. It sounds great. That album is a fucking classic, but it was really, really good. So I picked up the Back in Black album. And then I am like a huge Sonic Youth fan. Like I've been for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And so one of the main guys in Sonic Youth, Thurston Moore, way back like in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s, but I think it might be 97. He came out with a solo project called Thurston Moore, and the name of the album is Psychic Hearts. And so one of my local record shops that I really, really like, called Toxic Toast Records, like it's a shop curated by a guy that basically, like, his approach is he's selling his collection, like he curates it. What's it called? City pop. It's like a Japanese type of music.
Yeah.
It's dark wave, it's goth, it's indie rock. It's like, but it's also down my vein, so I'm like, I'm totally with it. And so he posted on Instagram, and the guy's super cool. Like he will sit and talk with you. It's fucking rad. And so he posted, he's like, he bought someone's collection of albums. And so he's been selling them, and he's like, copy of Psychic Hearts. It's like $20. Double album. The first album is in this, and it's an original pressing. And so first album is a green color vinyl. That's a sort of like evergreen color. And then the other album has only one side of audio. And then the other side is blank, but it has etching art. So like some of the artwork that's on the first album or on the cover art is on the back of it. And I was like, this is something I don't have. And it cost me like $20. Shit, I'm fucking buying this.
I am in the middle of a fight with a motherfucker on Discogs because I ordered a record like that from him. He sent it in this package. I'm not going to put his address out there. And if you open this package, let me open it for you, you'll see, even though it's a lot of cardboard, this record, because it's etched, comes in one of those plastic sleeves, not a standard record sleeves.
Right.
This record is supposed to be mint. The sleeve is supposed to be near mint. Does that look near mint to you?
No, it does not.
Does it look near mint to you?
No.
And because of this, and it's in this plastic sleeve that's busted, it's in this long case right here, sliding all around. When I open it up, the record's not even in the plastic. It's all on there. It's covered in dust and everything, and it does not look good. It does have the etching on it, as you can see, etching on one side, the music on the other. And I'm like, he's like, you can send it back for a full refund. What he's telling me, I have to send it back at my cost, though.
Yeah, no.
He's not going to send me a label or anything. And I'm like, you told me this shit was, you said this shit was mint and near mint.
Yeah.
Mint for the record, near mint for the sleeve. It's not those things. And I feel like because of that means you misrepresented it. And therefore I should not be forced to have to pay to ship it back to you to get my motherfucking money back. You should be fucking sending me a label.
You guys send me a label because you sent me, you falsely represented
exactly
what this is.
And so I was just like so pissed off about this. And so I've been going back and forth with him. And finally today I made it with a PayPal. And then he wrote them and said, the discount policy is this, that, and third. And I'm like, and when eventually PayPal reached back to me, I'm going to explain to them like I wrote today and be like, the difference here being, he told me he misrepresented what it was meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
He said that it was these things, and it's neither of those things.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping I can get that dough back. Or no, and not even that. I don't just want my dough back. I'm hoping that they make him pay for it to get shit back there.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll send that bitch back to you. I'll send it back to you. I don't care. That's cool, whatever. But I want you to pay for it so I'm not out money and out the record, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Because then you're like, oh no, wait, I'm out a -10.
Yeah,
that's not how
that's what it ends up being. You know, I got to pay that medium L price to ship it out, and so forth and so on. And then you know what it is. He's gonna be a bitch and say, "Oh, it didn't come back like he sent it or something." You know what it's gonna be.
Yeah,
I don't like that, and I don't think I should be. I don't think I should be made to do that shit. But we'll see how it all plays out, man. But I love an etch record. I own a Daylar one over there. That's pretty sweet. It's a Daylar 12-inch that I got from Germany, off of Discogs, another thing, and it literally has the price tag on it, and it's in Deutschmarks.
Yeah,
this is when old Germany. So man, record collecting dope. Donnie, I know you're trying to get on tapes, man, but I'm telling you, man, vinyl, man, has a specialness to it that I love more and more as I collect more and more. You know.
Well, Donnie put in the Discord earlier today. He picked up a stereo for his car, and it's it is like factory like tape deck. It's fucking clean too. Where I was like, oh, where'd you get that? And he only paid like $80. I was like, fucking score. So, man, he's definitely in the right space to pick up some cassettes, and especially like cassettes has a revival as well. Like you can get some good like modern shit, and even some reissues too, where it's like, hey, this is a new copy off the master. So it's a good time to get into like, I mean, vinyl's been hot for a minute, but tapes are really, really creeping up, and you can even find like some shops. I know we got a couple out here that are exclusive like tape shops. Like that's all they're doing.
People are yearning for the return of physical media because there's so much shit that exists that is not on these DSPs. It's not streaming anywhere. It's not available. And so they're like, look, but I can grab this CD I had forever ago. I can grab this tape. I can grab this record and it's mine. And I have these versions of it. And it's like, it's dope, man.
Well, and the thing too, is that like with the physical media, like kind of before CDs, and yes, you could do it on records. You could do it on cassettes, but it was like, we weren't skipping.
Yeah.
We were with side A, side B.
Exactly.
You know, because you don't want to scratch your record, you dropped the needle wrong, you fucked it up. Or too many forwards and backwards on a cassette, and all of a sudden your fucking tape deck eats it. So it's just like, let that bitch play. Let it play. And so we knew front to back on an album. And then we also discovered some favorites. I've learned consistently that track number 8 will always be my favorite. On so many albums, I get to 8 and I'm like, damn, yeah, that is, for some reason 8 is the one that hits for me. But so I think going back to that physical media, we're going to be able to dive deeper back into loving albums and not loving singles, which then makes them a lot more like long lasting.
Truly, I love it.
So then, you know, kind of keeping it going. And I've also been listening to a lot of Interpol. Like I really, really like that group, and they just did a free show in Mexico City in their big like central area, 160,000 people, free show. The performance was like hit after hit after hit, and Interpol's a band that like I'll listen to them like a ton. I listen to them regularly. But it's like, it's one of those where then I forget like, oh shit, but I love this song and I love that song. And so just been like playing a fucking ton of Interpol as well. They're actually going to be playing out here soon at the Cruel World Festival.
Yeah.
And, but this year's lineup is like, it's a lot of old acts, and I don't enjoy seeing like revival acts type of thing. Like it's Duran Duran, Blondie, Adamant, a few others. And I told my wife the other day, I said, I would have loved to have seen these bands in the 70s, not in their 70s. Like it ain't the same, you know, like just, nah, it's not it.
I am near certain I heard that Duran Duran puts on a hell of a show even still.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes. No, some of them really, really do. And they're touring heavily, but it's in a lot of the bands that I've seen come back, it's the same vein of why I don't like when hip hop and rap acts bring in a live band. I don't need you to get jazzy. I don't want that fucking bass line interlude like in the I don't no. Play Hungry Like a Wolf the way it's supposed to be played. Play Planet Earth the way it's supposed to be played. Play Mama Said Knock You Out the way it's supposed to be played. I don't want to hear some fucking horns. Don't give me that. Don't give me I don't want to do that. You're not going to catch me in a fucking silky button down smoking a cigar with a fedora. That's not me. That's not my energy. I may be old, but not for this earth. Give me some energy. Give me some good shit. So it's just, I can't do it. You're not going to catch me out of these shows sipping red wine, man. That's not me. So, that is what it is. But as we kind of wrap things up for the evening, just thank everyone for listening. Hopefully Delvin's doing well, but just all in all, with like people having hard times, struggling with things, going through their own life and whatnot, check in with your peoples. Even if you're just, we're all guilty of it. I'm probably the worst of it. But like, if you're thinking about them, text them. Hey man, you good? What's happening? It's been a minute. How are you? Even if it's just a super simple, quick emoji. Hey, I don't got time to chat, but just wanted to see if you're all right. Check in with your people. It's always good. People like to be checked in on. Sure. T, you want to mention anything before we sign off?
You know what it is? Every week, Stage Scripture. Well, not really, because it won't be a new show this week because we didn't record last week because your boy went to his kid's art show. Mm-hmm. But it's like
also because 535 episodes. They didn't invite him to Monopoly Go. So
anyway, it's 535 episodes that exist out there. So you good. You can get out there and watch it. You can go and listen to Stage Crunchy and Milk. You know what I'm saying? We have It's a Great British Bake Off podcast that's out there on that very same feed. Will be sooner than later. So Chef, me and Chaufie's little bear recap show we out here working on. So worry not. You're gonna get some more of that here sooner than later. We out here, people. We podcast. It's dope.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I was on the Delvin Cock Experience. We talked about rap beefs. It was a delight. It was so good. Me and B-Rob and Delvin hit me up, was like, yo, what you doing tonight? And I'm going, what you need, man? It was that. He's like, we got to talk about it. I'm like, I'm in. Let's go.
Why wouldn't I?
So
nice.
You saying you can catch me elsewhere too. You know what I'm saying? If you're getting down to get down on that.
Definitely. Well, thank you everyone for listening and watching this evening. T, I'm Chaufie. We out.
Peace.